Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Tonight, as I made note of in various places, if you've come from one of the Discord notifications or the like. Rar. Hello, Rar. As I made note of, is a special night. It's going to be a tabletop role playing night with several friends. I'm going to unmute the desktop audio in just a moment so they can start introducing themselves. But I wanted to show off for anybody brand new here my awesome storyteller shirt, my "The Dice Are Trying to Kill Me" shirt. Because as storyteller, that's what they're doing always, and it's expected. But anyway, I'm gonna free up the volume now. Move over to the other screen, the correct screen now, and Artless, feel free to
Hey,
introduce yourself.
hi, I'm Atlas Aesthetic. I'm a streamer on Twitch here. I usually do art and stuff, but today we're playing some tabletop. What's it called? RPG. Tabletop RPG. That's what we're doing today. Hey,
Indeed, indeed. The tiefling character you all see down here there,
Hello,
is
I'm Dragon
Dragonsoul.
Soul. That's
Oh,
my
sorry.
character Callista. Um, I am still trying to get OBS to actually work with stuff, so yeah. But I do hope to start streaming regularly at some point in the near future.
hell yeah.
And then the other image you see down there is myself and Artless's friend Chris. We're hoping he'll be able to join us before too long. If and when he does, I will let you folks know. Finally, we're gonna have Yarny of Yarnyland coming on in. I think she's still setting up one or two things though. But as soon as those are set up and ready to go, you'll see her pop in. So I'm going to give her a few moments to get that up and running. In the meanwhile, I'm going to refresh everybody present, on what was happened the last time, so that the new folks are ready and able to and have a good understanding, and the folks who were in on the last one, if they've forgotten, because it was Thanksgiving, so I would understand if you don't quite remember. It would totally make sense to me if you don't quite remember what happened in the last session. So a different
It has been
party.
a while.
It has been a while. Oh, yes, yes, it started, Dicky. It started. You know, the pre actual like session start stuffs. So last time, what happened was that a group of adventurers, Artless's, I believe, rogue, if memory serves,
Mm-hmm.
um, Chris's knight or paladin type, something along those lines. At least the armor suggests it, and a couple of other folks who couldn't join us today were both two teams accepted a quest to go investigate rumors of strange like birds out in the nearby woods that were stopping and creating havoc for merchants trying to come in and out of the town. Upon investigation, they discovered it was a gigantic turkey with wings fused with various weapons and a bunch of little turkeys that it had spawned. And upon killing it, spawned the question, why? What is causing these odd mutated creatures, especially since rumors of more odd mutated creatures started popping up? that's where we'll be kicking off tonight. Yarny, if you can hear me, about how close are you to being fully ready to join in? Just so I have a sense. While I stretch a little bit.
Yeah, same.
Yes, the stretching is the important, Zors. While we're waiting for... You'll be on in just a few minutes. Okay, cool. So while we're waiting for Yarny then, chat, how are all of you doing tonight? Diggy, I know what you're up to, and I don't know how much you want to talk about it, but I hope our little chat earlier was helping to kind of solve some of the problems you were coming up with in your own work. And you know what? While we're waiting for folks, I'm going to play a little bit of music because the silence is kind of killing me.
Fair enough.
And Artless, I can give you a taste of the awesomeness that is Seahorse's music.
Oh, true.
Let's take the February 11th set. There you go. Have some Seahorse music while we wait for Yarny. I see, Diggy, I see, yeah. I can assist with simple charts if you need some help with that. I'm actually fairly okay with doing those things, in specifically in Word. But yeah, Artless, you can see why I like having this playing when I'm like when I'm running like Valheim or something that doesn't have otherwise good music.
Yeah, no, nice.
Oh, that's such good music.
I like it. It's a vibe.
Yeah, that makes sense, Stiggy. Formatting can be a little bit tough, honestly. I get you on that. I totally get you on that one. I know in the little storyteller cheat sheety thing I made for this system, it took me a while to get everything arranged just right. But once I did, I was very happy with it. Oh, you know what? While I'm thinking on it, I'm going to share a link in the chat, since we are doing a role-playing game tonight. This is a link to a itch.io bundle of a bunch of TTRPGs. I can help you set that up at some point, Diggy, no problem. But this is a link to a, like, $6,500 worth of TTRPGs? Not a whole lot, honestly. Actually, the little cheat sheet stayed the same. I might need to update like one or two minor things on it, but format-wise, it's never going to change, really. There's no point. And the character sheet is more or less the same. It'll get some updates. But check that link out. It's like $5 for a bunch of RPGs, most of which I've never heard of, but there's one in there for the dungeon, which I backed on Kickstarter, and it's such a unique, fun take. And more importantly, this particular bundle is supporting two charities helping trans youth in Texas, because Texas's governor has been up to stupidity. Surprise, surprise.
Right,
And-
I actually heard about that, yeah.
And so this bundle is looking to help, provide a safety net and like services that are getting cut to those trans youth. So that is available if folks want to check it out. My dungeons, you know how I handle my dungeons. I can share the chart with you for like dungeon layouts. I actually roll them up. I came up with a system for doing that because it makes it a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, he's in the lobby.
Yarny's in the lobby. I'll bring them in. I'll bring her in. Hello, Yarny.
Hello, hello, is it working?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Were you able to get the other thing functioning yet?
Mute that.
Yeah, we'll want to have your that'll be. We'll figure that out. Yeah, exactly, Diggy. Rollable tables makes everything so much easier. If you don't want to worry about trying to get your avatar to show up on the stream, that's okay, Yarny. A regular image will do just fine. We could do a Discord reactive. Hello, Buttons. Yes, shiny things are absolutely wonderful. But yeah, I'm just playing some music while we get the last one or two things quickly set up. Yarny, were you able to hear while you were initially starting your setup the
Yes.
little recap I did?
Oh, no, I missed the recap.
Okay, so the recap is there were rumors circulating around about this weird, strange creature, strange bird out in the nearby woods that was terrorizing merchants and travelers to the point of a lot of them not surviving. And two parties of people joined together, having accidentally taken the same quest from the Adventurers Guild. And upon investigation, discovered it was a gigantic turkey with wings that had weapons fused into the feathers. Somehow.
Okay.
It was a special Thanksgiving stream. It was fun.
That was good,
And-
yeah.
And since then, more rumors and more quests regarding getting more information on even more like strange creatures have started popping up in town locations for the Adventurers Guild. That brings you more or less up to date.
Alrighty.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, and I sent you the link to the source.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what I need. At least I think that is correct. It should have given you a browser source that can just be dropped right into OBS. I will know in a moment
Yeah,
if that worked
the
correctly.
URL for the OBS browser source.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yarny avatar. I'll call it that.
You
Okay.
just added a browser source.
Yep, and it is here. I'm gonna trim the edges a little bit, so that I can have plenty of space. You may want to turn on transparent background because you have just a black background.
Oh yeah, I don't usually do it that way.
And I'll make sure to give your portrait enough room to kind of move. So there we go. Bring yours over with Artless's reactive one. Yep, we can see you just fine. Hands moving and everything. Fantastic. Okay, we are good to go then. Everyone has their character sheets ready and in front of them?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep, already.
If you have physical D10s, feel free to roll actual, like, real dice if you want. If you don't, there is a bot in the gaming chat on the Discord server that you can use instead. And that is available. There's instructions how to use it in the pinned messages on that particular channel. And if you're ever in doubt on exactly how many dice to roll, let me know. It looks at Dusk sheet. The funny thing is, Dusk might actually fit reasonably well here, Diggy. Dusk might actually be underpowered. No, there's a little more to it than that, Yarny.
Oh.
I mean, you can do it that way, but then you have to count how many of those rolls are higher than 6 and re-roll any 10s that might pop up.
Everything except damage rolls.
Yeah, you see it up there. Funny thing is, Diggy,
Okay.
Dusk might actually be a little bit underpowered in this setting, because I don't think we set Dusk and Eerie up to be superpowered. This one is superpowered. I think those were normal or vanilla. I could be wrong though. Okay, that said, I'm going to stop the music so we can kick in to the game proper. I'm also going to shift a little bit to get a little more comfortable. Okay. So, you all find yourselves back. You're in a different town now. Don't remember where you put the character sheet. I don't think we set that one up as masochistic. That would have started you with so very little stuff to play with. For folks tuning in who maybe are not familiar with the system we are about to run, since this is a custom one I've been designing, you were definitely masochistic? Oh, you'd be way underpowered then. As folks, whenever something comes up that needs to be rolled, the players will look at their character sheets, and I will give them a combination of an attribute and an ability, usually. Sometimes it'll be something special. And they'll roll that many d10s. Any of those dice that come up a 6 are a success. Any of those dice that come up a 10 explode and get to be re-rolled. Just the once. The only instance where that doesn't happen is when you're rolling damage for combat and spells and the like, because damage 10s don't explode. That's the basics of like the dice for this system. So that said, you find yourselves in a new town, a much bigger town than the one you were last in. Having followed rumors and whatnot of some of these creatures and they all seem to be originating from like just outside this one. You have a couple options of where you want to go. You can go to the tavern to see if you can get some information there. You can go straight to the Adventurers Guild, see if there's any open quests. You can ask around town as well if you want.
I'm guessing I haven't met the rest of them yet.
No, you've not.
Yeah, we're all. No one's me.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Artless, remind me the name of your character. Folks in general.
Mirik.
Mirik. Okay.
Yeah.
And Dragon Soul will be largely coming in via text for the time being. So I'll be relaying what she says there. Okay, so Dragon Soul is going to the tavern. What's your character's name, by the way, Dragon Soul? Oh, right. You gave it to me already, Callista. Speaking of Callista, actually, Dragon Soul, um, I have the mechanics to tell you real quick for your central and your flawed. Your central is +2 dice whenever whenever those situations come up, and your flawed is -2 dice to social rolls. So make a note of that if you can somewhere. Okay, so Callista is going to the tavern. Yeah, go ahead, Yarny.
Oh no, nothing. Oh, wait, what?
Oh, sorry, I saw you moving your hands. So it was like,
Oh no, no. Just adjusting things.
no worries. Okay, Merrick and Yarny, whatever you decided to name your character. Dragon Soul, +2 dice to situations involving folks who are suffering or like trying to encourage folks to use their own free will. Okay, so I'll deal with Callista stuff then, while the others kind of make up their minds.
Sweet.
So, Dragon Soul, roll. Give me a second to get my little cheat thing up. Roll perception and awareness, physical path if you have it, to see what you hear. Unless you're specifically talking to people to get information. Free will, poor horse. Oh, that was a fun session. That was a fun campaign, too. Oh, was that ever a fun campaign? Okay, sure, yeah, no problem. Make a perception awareness roll, the physical path, if you have that. The instructions on how to use the dice roller are up in the pinned comments. uh, do, 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 do. Also, folks in the chat, there is now a new collab command! !mark collab, COLLAB. If you type that in, you will get the Twitch links. It should be that. Yes, for everyone here who is present and who has a Twitch channel. Okay, so no, that's not quite how you roll it. I'll show you. It's !roll 3d10. There's a little more to it than that. 3d10, E10, T6. 10, T6. Okay, there we go. 2 successes. So you're going to want to do most rolls like that. The E10, T6 is important because the E says your 10s explode. The T says the target number is 6. If you're rolling damage, omit the E10. So Callista listens around for a while, and it's noisy, it's loud. It's kind of hard to pick out individual conversations. And the ones you do pick out, a lot of them are just talking about the most random of stuff. How their crops are doing, local gossip. You hear one person, though, in particular, talking to a couple of others at their table about the strange creatures and how somebody in the town has more information. Possibly amongst the tavern staff, but good luck getting information out from those folks. They're paranoid about talking to folks who are not in their circle. Okay, Artless, Yarny? Are you going to the Adventurers Guild? Are you also doing the tavern trick? Are you asking questions around town?
I'm not entirely sure what's going on right now.
You're trying to get more information about the rumors of some of these mutated weird creatures.
Okay. I'll be at the tavern.
You'll be at the tavern. Okay. Make the same roll Dragon Soul just made. Perception, awareness, physical, if you have anything in physical. And Artless, if you said what you wanted to do, forgive me, I didn't quite hear it.
I'd like to go to the Adventurers Guild.
You're going to the Adventurers Guild. Okay, so while Yarny makes her roll, the Adventurers Guild does have a quest up, but it is a quest to acquire more information. Also, hi, Sophie. Buttons, if you're willing to give Sophie Droid a shout out.
Hi, Sophie.
The quest from the Adventurers Guild.
No, is Notice Me Senpai? Oh god, oh no. Oh, that's worse. Notice Me Senpai is worse. And immediately regret.
Oh my.
VR chat model.
The quest does specifically state that there are some. It is suspected that some folks in the town know more than they're willing to say, but that's about as much as the quest request is actually gives you. Yes, shoutouts, exactly. Speaking.
So there's no location or anything to head to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
no
around
locations on that one. Speaking of shoutouts, one for Diggy as well, please, Buttons. And I don't know if you can shout out yourself, but if you can't, I'll give you one in a moment. Let's see.
All right,
6 successes, okay.
Look good?
Yeah, that roll looks perfect.
I'm so mad I misplayed that.
6
Absolutely
successes.
perfect. 6 successes, exactly. Yeah, if you do it like that, you can just tell me whatever number the result spits out.
Those I don't understand how the system works.
I need to order food.
How do I get 6 successes with 5 dice rolls?
Because
Where to run?
your 10s exploded,
Oh,
meaning you rolled them
okay.
again, and you got 2 more successes that way.
I actually have a hiding spot.
Yep.
Stop.
Yep, that's how it functions. Okay,
So this is kind of like
Yes, I
Shadowrun
am.
just with D10.
Yes, I am. Shut up.
thank you for the follow. If you want to make your presence known, let me know. If not, enjoy your Kirby and know that here we respect the sanctity of the lurk. So yes,
I'm hiding.
you hear a lot of the same things that Dragon Soul heard, that Callista heard. However,
It is now.
you hear a lot. You hear a little bit more, and that's somebody saying that if people want to get those the folks in the kitchen who might have some information. I'll respond to that in a second. The folks who might have some information are in the kitchen of this very tavern and have a tendency to talk amongst themselves when others aren't present. So, yeah.
And can I pick out who said that?
You can. They're a nondescript kind of citizen type.
Okay.
But it looks like they're a regular here, so it's pretty trustworthy.
Okay.
Also, welcome Meta Knight 512. Welcome. I just like to leave because it went in rude to take your wallet. Because I like to let folks kind of, lurk if they don't want to have attention drawn to themselves. That's all. So yes, it is about the time you're hearing this that, Artless, if you want to come in on the tavern, you can. Because, it might be a nice time for a drink.
Yeah, and probably best place to look for information. So
That too, yeah.
definitely tavern.
That
A drink
too.
would be nice too.
What immediately catches your eye, Artless, is most of the people here are minding their own business. But there are two folks who clearly are not, who are clearly paying way more attention to the conversations of others. Yarny and Dragon Soul, please describe yourselves. How your characters look and the like. If you can.
No, I should have thought of this. Okay. Okay. I kind of. Okay.
Yes,
So
Diggy,
she
pastry.
has short, kind of hair. Kind of red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Human,
Yes.
one of the, decidedly non-human, because you can be one of the more fantasy type races. That's fine too.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know there were other races. We'll just go with human.
Okay. One of the people really stands out because, well, hey, you don't often see a tiefling in here. They, at least not in a situation like this.
A tiefling?
A tiefling, yep.
Let me look that up.
You can see what a tiefling looks like because that is the exact image you see on the stream for...
Oh,
Yep, that's
perfect.
a tiefling.
Are they... What, size are they? They humanoid?
Tieflings are humanoid, but I think they tend to be shorter, more hobbit-sized.
Sure. Oh, okay.
With tail, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dragon Soul, but I think I saw a tail on the model when you showed me her proper. Any idea what kind of clothing you want your character to have, Yarny? Like, how fancy, how simple? Robes
Not
versus
fairly-
adventurers gear.
Fairly elaborate and ornate. Kind of. Leather leggings and kind of like a fancy overcoat.
Leather leggings and a fancy overcoat? Okay. That works. So that's what you see for one of them, a humanoid in fancy leggings and an overcoat, very elaborate clothing too. So that immediately stands out amongst like your average like people here. And okay, so Dragon Soul says, Callista is seated in the corner of the tavern. Her face is obscured by the hood of her cloak, but the orange glow of her eyes belies her non-human nature. Beneath her cloak is a brown studded leather brigandine with an old weathered tome hanging from her belt.
Nice.
Okay, typing up a little bit more. So, yes, those are the two people that immediately catch your eye as not doing the thing the rest of the folks in the tavern are doing.
Sweet. All right. I will head to the bar.
Hey, Dragon Soul adds, she's about 5'10". Okay, so she's actually fairly tall.
Okay.
About 2-inch long horns, but they're mostly pointed forward, so they don't add much to her height.
And horns. All right. That's sweet.
Yeah, so you'd be able to see a little bit of the horns from the underneath the hood if you get kind of like the right angle. Tieflings are about the same height as humans generally. Okay, good to know. I'm not as familiar with tieflings. You mean minding other people's business in a tavern? Is it normal? Why am I just now learning this?
True. Well,
Well, now
they
you've
are
learned
teeth,
something.
so that sticks out. So they do stick out.
We're using a system of my own design, Meta Knight. Yeah, a homebrew. Based off with drawing a lot of elements from White Wolf's Exalted, from Fate, from a couple of others, to give kind of the best of all the worlds that of the many systems I've run games in and played games in.
Oh,
That was the design for this. So, okay. Our rogue friend goes over to the bar. The tavern keeper looks up. What can I get for you? Okay, I see. Callista's gonna try to sneak into the kitchen and eavesdrop on the staff. Okay, roll
I was gonna do the
finesse,
same thing.
stealth. Okay, both of you then roll finesse and stealth.
Nice.
Movement, if you have it specifically as the path.
Also, Astral, did you say something to me? Someone came into my room for a second there, so I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I did. The barkeep asked, what can I get for you?
Oh, okay. Sweet. Some ale.
Nods. A few moments later, passes you a kind of a rather strong looking ale. Apparently, you're in a good tavern for once.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Also, do I notice Yanni and Dragon Soul going into the into the kitchen?
That's perception awareness, physical, to notice them. I need to see what
Can I roll
Yarny's
it?
role is going to be for that.
Okay.
Before I can, and feel free to make your roll as well, and then I can tell you if you notice them.
Okay.
I think this is right.
This is also. Let me see something.
That doesn't seem right.
Okay. No. That is
That seems wrong. What did I do
actually.
wrong?
Why the? Oh, because it's E10, not D10. T6.
Oh, E10.
E10 D6, yeah. So your 6 is exploded.
Whoopsies.
That's why. Okay. But whoops. No worries. Okay. 5 to notice. Okay. Yes, Artless, you immediately notice the tiefling trying to sneak into the kitchen.
Mhm.
Let me try that for
What?
you. Let me try that for you, Yarny. I'll show you what went wrong with yours. Uh, uh, well, if you notice, their 5 results was enough to beat your 3 for stealth, so they noticed you. You'll see in a second what else happened though. E10 T6. Whoops.
Oh,
Get the
T6.
get the T out of there because that shouldn't be there. And try that then. I just need to see how Yarny's result worked. Callista attempts to sneak into the kitchen, only to be immediately noticed by somebody because, frankly, the kitchen is very there's a lot going on in here. And it's hard to sneak into this place without anybody noticing you, and you immediately get shushed out of it, being like, "No, you don't belong here. Get." The other individual, despite how fancy her clothing is, somehow manages to get in without being noticed by either Artless or the kitchen staff.
Oh, shit.
While they were busy shooing him out, I snuck in.
Shooing
Okay,
her.
mate. I feel it.
Yeah, Callista her, yeah. So, so Yarny, you are successfully in the kitchen and have found a nice spot to hide. Callista is, however, ushered out. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Thank you, Meta Knight.
Ma'am?
The
It's like when they walk
barkeep,
into the Wendy's and just make their own food.
yeah, the tavern keeper though also happens to notice this after the fact as Callista's being forced out of the kitchen. Were you, excuse me, ma'am, were you looking for a job? Because I know the head chef back there is saying they could always use more help. And let me see a thing for the head chef. 1, 2.
True, Diggy.
Yeah. Yarny, you're able to start as you listen. A lot of what your ears are catching. No, you'll just be leaving. A lot of what your ears are catching are things like the shout outs of, I need X amount of a given dish. Where's the chicken? Where's the chicken for this? Standard fare kitchen stuffs, things of that nature. You do notice, however, that the people who looked like they are the type who might be the folks who might be talking about some stuff have gotten very clammy because somebody just tried to enter this place without being invited.
Okay. Hmm. I suppose waiting it out's not gonna make. They're not gonna just start talking anytime soon. So,
They've gotten clammy, exactly. Who sneaks with bells tied to their ankles? Oh, Diggy. Diggy.
I do.
And apparently succeeds really well at it.
All right, time to make a show.
Okay.
Keep the puns coming, chat. That's good. That's good.
Ring, ding, ding, ding. Okay, so, oh my god, I need some water.
Sure, no problem. And I see Dragon Soul typing something. Sure. Yeah, go for it. Um, wits, plus craft magic. Since this is not, um, I don't think any of the usual bonuses would apply here though for you, Dragon Soul. Unless you're specifically looking for stuff of that nature. Yeah, 10d10. Exactly. Okay, so Yarny, you said you're thinking it's time to put on a show.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do in this situation. Right, it's just a kitchen.
It is just a kitchen and a very crowded one at that. Okay, if you want, I can give you more detailed picture of it. But you'll
Sure,
need to make
that would
a
help.
perception awareness roll to see how much of the detail you kind of pick up. And Dragon Soul,
I think that was
there
5.
are no hidden rooms around the tavern.
5d5.
You're pretty sure of it from your quick magic cast. Well, Diggy, that's where you roll willpower to keep from being distracted.
All right, so 3.
Okay.
3 hits.
You're not familiar with a lot of how a kitchen works. So most of it is kind of alien to you as to what exactly is going on in in a kitchen of this size and this complexity. But you do notice a couple of the fires are looking awful small. Like really wimpy. How are they to expect to roast chickens properly with a fire that small?
Yeah. Okay, so don't know what they need a little help here. So, just kick this up a notch.
Hi, little one.
Or uh-oh. Oh, stream's back. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I noticed your thing disappeared for a moment on my end too. But the browser source is still here, so it should show back up in a little bit. And also, I have a gamer cat apparently.
Game cat.
Careful, little one. She wants to be in the game.
So should I roll to resist igniting their
You can
their
if you like.
cookware?
You can if you like.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so what is that roll?
Roll willpower.
Just willpower?
Yeah, and see if you get enough successes to beat your MDV.
9 d10.
See
Alright,
if,
I'm just gonna copy
okay.
this. I did not.
Nope. Yeah. Well, you know what you want to do now. You don't see a
Okay.
coop. They're getting it away from somewhere. And yeah, no, we do actually have a book for how to role play with your cats. It's adorable. How they make the rolls work.
Heat up this kitchen here.
It is also kind of cold in the kitchen too, to be fair.
Yeah. It's a little drafty. It's a little drafty.
A little drafty. Okay, I will tell you the result of that in just a moment. Dragon Soul, yep, you're able to investigate that. make a perception investigate roll gathering for the start to see kind of how much you pick up on. How are you looking to heat things up in here, Yarny? That is the question.
Kick these 11. Make it a little hot.
Let's literally heat it up. Turn all the stoves up. No.
Actually, I'm gonna try and make it unbearably hot. Just kind of get everyone to leave the. Try to get everyone to leave the kitchen. Make it unpleasant.
Oh my!
Evacuate the building.
Oh my! Oh my!
Just burn it down.
Not burning it down.
Oh
Make
my!
it unpleasant.
Just make it unpleasant. Also, welcome, Dead Senpu. Welcome. Okay, you are also rolling wits and craft magic.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I know the difficulty for that. Already you're acting like your old D&D sorcerer. That's what Dragon Soul says. Also, Dragon Soul, you notice the standard tracks you would expect to see for the most part. Carts and the wheels from carts and horse hoofs and things of that nature.
Sophie, no,
usual
it's
animal
not
tracks.
arson. I'm not burning anything down yet.
Yet.
Just turn the air conditioning up a bit. Yeah.
E10 T6. But you know what? We'll work with that one. Hold on. We will work with that one just fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll call it the 6 result it is, because that is actually fairly reasonable. So yes, you do manage to bring up the heat in the kitchen to just barely over comfortable, to where most of the people start to leave. At least until they're called back in by the chef, being like, hey, no, where are you going? Back in here, back to work. And that draws his eyes to you.
Uh-oh. Can I notice this?
Yes, because the doors to the kitchen swing open, and you can definitely see this.
Okay, nice.
Are you one of the new workers? What are you doing standing over there? Come, get over on your station, right there.
Uh-oh.
Congrats, you've been drafted.
Drafted to the tavern.
Thank you for the command buttons.
Command home is commanded.
The rest of the kitchen workers slowly filter back in. Are you watching all this quietly, Artless, or are you making your presence known in any way?
I'm being quiet. I think I noticed Dragon Soul leave. But I chose to stay because I noticed the elaborate human had gone missing.
Okay.
I
Also,
just investigate that.
Gotcha.
Suddenly there's a commotion in the kitchen. I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder, yeah. Also, Meta Knight, thank you for the gift sub to Not an Arsonist 69. That is beautiful.
Matt and I, how did you find my other account?
That's a good night.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Also, Artless, make a stealth roll. Finesse stealth. Just to make sure you still remain unnoticed. Oh, I should turn off the...
Where's stealth?
Yeah, there's no music at the moment. It's one of the regular abilities. I don't know if you gotta have something. You're a rogue. A rogue without stealth is gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. I have 5 finesse. I'm not seeing the stealth one. Oh, there it is. I got 2 stealth.
Oh,
So 5
banana.
finesse and 2 stealth.
Yeah, 5
What do
finesse, 2
I-
stealth. So just roll that many d10s. I don't know if you have any bonuses to no, it's not movement based here. It's just
Mhm.
you're trying to not stand out.
So I'm rolling 7. Like I just
Yeah.
add them together. Those. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you see you have it in the pinned comments how to make it work. How to get it to spit out the
That's
right
it,
thing.
right?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. That should spit out a result for you momentarily. Oh, Roll, not LE.
I think I
Thank
did
you,
that
buttons.
last time.
Thank you. No worries. No worries.
Jesus. We'll get there.
Yeah. You unfortunately picked the wrong spot in all the commotion, and the chef notices you. And you, come in here too. I know you're one of the new workers. Get.
All right. So, would I think that the head chef would have the information that we're looking for?
Sure, why not?
I play along. I go
Okay.
in with it. Yeah, I work here. That's it.
Well, get your butt in here then and take that station. And points to the station that deals with preparing like cuts of meat and the like.
Nice. I start chopping away at some meat.
All right. So I walk up to the head chef.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so are you in command of this kitchen here?
He just blinks at you. Yes. Why are you not at your station? Get back to work.
Station, my name is Agnia. I am the greatest mage that has ever lived. I am currently looking for some information, and I would hope you would be able to help me.
Hands you a book. Here, this has the recipes. This is everything you need to know for your station right over there, which happens to be a stew pot, keeping the
Do
heat
I
at
look like a cook?
Yes. Get work.
Dragon Souls. Coming back to the tip.
Yeah, I saw Dragon Souls come back to the tavern. I was going to get to that in just a moment. I said the drink was good at this tavern. I didn't say anything about the food. Okay, you get back to the tavern. You'll get back to the tavern a little bit later. Yeah, no problem. So for the better part of the next 2 hours,
Nice.
you find yourselves, Artless, you're generally left alone.
Hell yes.
Because everyone around you is surprised that you're getting the cuts like so like perfect on this meat.
I'm just doing my job, guys. I don't know.
So they're happy, you're doing your job. Yarny, are you actually doing the job you were given, or are you continuing to be stubborn and trying your way?
Oh, absolutely stubborn.
It is a what role would it be to make soup? Sure, actually, that's performance. Why not? That's finesse performance.
Finesse and performance.
Thank you for the suggesting, Diggy. Normally it would be craft food, yes, but the soup is already basically done. It's just stirring it at appropriate times and whatnot.
Oh no, that stew is overdone.
Well, they'll realize that before too long. Give them some time; they'll realize it.
Yeah. Wait, where's performance?
Performance is something you specifically have. Oh, sorry.
Oh, right.
As
Right.
under
Okay.
whatchamacallit. I think under larceny. It was a specialty under larceny. Self.
It was under group socialized.
Group socialized performance. Right. I knew you had a
Okay.
specialty in it somewhere.
Yeah. Roll 8.
Okay. You don't know how. You don't know how this is remotely possible, but somehow you managed to stir that particular soup back to proper life. The chef comes over, tastes it. Good, it's ready. You, pointing to another. Plate it. Let's go. Looks at you. Okay, that station. Next. We need, and he gives you a list of a bunch of salads that you have to make. Like a dozen of them right this moment.
Does go to Yanni?
He's very happy with you, Artless. Very, very happy with you. Yes, because you know that it happens. A bad soup can just be made good if by like
that soup was basically burnt.
The soup was basically burnt, but you stirred it into the tastiest soup ever. Exactly. Greatest stir ever, Dickie. Greatest stir ever.
It looks like toxic sludge, but they're like, this is actually kind of good.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like toxic sludge, but it tastes amazing. It's about this time that Callista comes back into the tavern looking for a room for the night. The tavern keeper says, yeah, we do have a couple up top. You're lucky this is one of those combo places, not just a tavern.
Nice.
Here, have some of this soup that just came out, by the way. And puts in front of you a bowl of soup that looks like stuff you've seen from the sources you tap into, to be frankly honest. But smells delicious. Dragon Soul will understand.
Okay.
Primordial soup gods. And another hour later, a couple
what time
of
is it? Like what time of day is it right now?
It's now evening.
Okay, good.
Have I heard? Yeah. Have you heard any talk of what? Any information?
You've started to hear a little bit of talk. There's a couple of people kind of tittering on about a set of nearby caves where, from what they've heard, some stuff has been happening at or near, supposedly.
Do I notice a specific person talking about this?
It's a handful of the people who are working near you, actually, Artless.
Mm-hmm. Would I be able to, at the end of the shift, kidnap one of them temporarily, sort of assault them,
Go to
and
violence,
interrogate
huh?
them? Yes.
I see how it is. As you are thinking that, and the next shift is about to come in, you can see some of the people starting to pack up to leave. A couple of those folks come over to you and are like, "Hey, you're really good. By the way, have you heard about this?" Don't tell anyone else, because you can't trust any of the other people, not even them. And one of them is pointing at Yarny's character specifically.
Oh, now they are. I can't sneak up on them.
Okay. So what information do I get from this?
there's an old mine just outside of town, and my cousin's best friend's father said that he heard some odd noises coming out from it and saw some weird tracks near it. And I'm thinking, and I mean, somebody tried to tell town guard, but they won't believe us. They won't believe us.
Can I ask
That's got to be where
why
the creatures
secret-
are. Because they all think we're crazy.
All right, I thank them.
He became one of them. He's trustworthy suddenly.
Exactly.
I never said it was good logic.
I do such a good job. People just accept me, no matter my appearance. All right, so can I head to the mine? I slip away and head to the mine. It's
You're
getting
tempted
late.
to head straight to the mine, but
Yeah,
you're,
maybe I
frankly speaking, you're exhausted.
Yeah. Okay.
Both of you
find
and
a place to
Yarny's
stay.
character are utterly exhausted.
Been working. Yeah.
Did I overhear anything about the mine?
Make a perception awareness roll, physical path if you've got it, to see if you heard any of what they just said. Wait, he ordered an ale. He's one of us. Yes, indeed.
Wow. Okay. Well,
How much were they trying to keep this quiet? Is the next question.
Maybe they thought I was equally crazy, so they weren't worried about,
Yes. Okay, you overheard a little bit of talk about the tracks and mine. You maybe thought they said mine, but you weren't quite sure. It was a little hard to hear over the sound of the chef yelling at you for like being such an incompetent worker and all of that.
Sweet.
But you do hear a little of that. However, you are also incredibly exhausted at the end of the shift, as I'm sure you know all too well.
Did Dragon Soul make it to the
Dragon Soul made it back to the tavern and is comfortably sleeping in... was comfortably resting for a little while. And says Callista is going to patrol the town's edge at night in the hopes of seeing any suspicious individuals going in or out of town.
Can I sleep outside?
You can sleep outside if you would prefer, sure.
Yeah, all right, I'll do that.
Diggy says, ask for a raise for resurrecting the dying soup.
That's good.
Yes, indeed.
Wait, did we get paid?
As you are on leaving the kitchen, yes, the tavern keeper does give you your pay for the night. 15% raise on zero is still zero.
Jeez.
It's an acceptable wage, you think, for based on the prices you've seen in the shops and whatnot of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but you see, the chef isn't the one coming up with the wages. It's the tavern keeper.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I'll go outside on a nearby bench from the tavern and wait out the night, I think.
Okay, in waiting out the night there, and Yarny, you can tell me if you're following suit or if you're too exhausted and actually, want to sleep. You notice Callista leave the tavern when it's dark and start skulking off to the edge of town.
Okay.
Okay.
It does pique my interest.
Wait, which one was Callista?
Callista's Dragon Soul's character, the tiefling.
So the one was in the kitchen with me?
Yeah, the one who let you sneak into the kitchen so successfully.
Yeah, the one who got kicked out of the kitchen.
The one who got kicked out of the kitchen.
Oh, who was in the kitchen with me then?
Me.
Yeah, the rogue. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm forgetting the name again.
Medic.
Merrick.
Yes.
Okay. I probably wouldn't think much
Yes,
of
indeed, Iggy.
the tiefling.
Sorry, you said what about the tiefling?
I said I probably wouldn't have thought much of the tiefling, and that wouldn't really care where they're going.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Have I had any rest at this point when I notice the tiefling leave?
You've had a little bit of rest, about an hour or two's worth.
Perfect.
So it
I
means
will
Yarny,
follow.
there is an opportunity. You have had some time to rest a little bit. If you want to like go out on your own, you can, without any penalties at this point.
Okay.
Each. And so when you step out, you immediately notice the tiefling walking away towards the edge of town, and the person you were working with following along. Also, welcome Zion. Thank you for the raid. Buttons, if you're willing to give Commander Zion a quick shout out. We are in the midst of the fleet has arrived. Yes, we are in the middle of session 2 of a homebrew TTRPG campaign. So sit down and enjoy some ridiculousness.
That's you draw another one. Oh, it's hunting again.
Welcome, Raiders.
It's hunting.
Yes, welcome Raiders. The people you can hear in voice chat are Artless, the
What are
gentleman
the
you just
chances
heard,
that I drew 2 deaths at
and
once?
Yarny. Go ahead, Yarny.
Hello.
What are the chances?
If you want links to the awesome
Oh,
people,
shit.
you gotta. Oh! Is that from that seat? Is
No,
that from that?
melodic.
Oh!
I
That.
killed everybody.
Oh, the clip is from that. That's beautiful. There is a command ! Collab if you want to know the information to where you can find all these fine folks, along with Dragon Soul, who we have participating via text. So give those folks some love, please, as well. So yes, we now have 3 people all kind of going in the same direction, following each other from a distance. Each of you make a finesse stealth roll to see, and a perception awareness roll to see how stealthily you can get towards the edge of town or out of town, and if you'll notice the other people following after you. So make your stealth rolls first. Okay, so
Can I
that's
write stuff after all the roll information just to clarify which roll it is?
sure,
work?
you can. That works too.
Okay. I don't know if it would mess up the roll. Okay, perfect.
Unless you're not moving stealthily, but that's your call. That is your call, Dragon Soul.
Right, yeah. And what was
Actually, yeah, I wouldn't be. I'm not gonna bother with
what
stealth.
was the other
You're
one?
not going to bother with stealth, so that's gonna
No.
that can be your observation roll then.
Okay.
Well, Artless was definitely attempting stealth though.
Yeah.
Um,
Then my next one, which is perception.
finesse
and
plus stealth, movement path. You have it. I know that for sure. And I think you have a bonus in that too, actually. I think you're rolling like 10 dice for it, if memory serves. Okay, yeah. So, Yarny, you are very much able to see both of them skulking away. They don't seem to
very
notice each other.
suspicious.
Okay.
Best I can tell.
That's my awareness.
Almost a botch.
Oof.
Very nearly a botch.
So
Yeah,
I don't
no.
I don't notice Yanni.
You do not notice Yarny. You're too focused on making sure you don't lose track of the tiefling.
Alright, sweet. Works with me.
I'm not as Diggy says, stumbles into town guard. I'm not as think as you drunk I am. Good day, sir.
Would I have any drunk debuffs, or did I not have that much? I don't know.
It's been
I
long
did have-
enough. It's been long enough.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
Right.
Yes, you can make your investigation roll now, Dragon Soul. At a 2 dice penalty because it is wicked dark unless you can see in the dark. Actually, no, but you can see in the dark. You're fine. But anyone who doesn't have any sort of night vision or a torch is having a much harder time seeing once you get outside of town. You don't have
I
like a
am
lot
a
of torches.
torch.
That's true. You are a torch. You do have starlight, but it's not helping nearly as much as you want it to, because the moon is, unfortunately, new moon, where AKA not really there. Not enough anyway.
It's cloudy.
Yeah, it's cloudy. So yes, you've all reached the edge of town, and the tiefling has stopped, like, making a beeline and now looks to be patrolling.
Patrolling?
Perception awareness plus that. Yeah, you're probably correct on that. Yep, patrolling. What for? You're not sure. Do-do-do.
I'll just grab some water real quick, guys.
No problem. Okay. So, Dragon Soul, you do indeed see, like, start finding tracks and the like. They look about a day old, and they look like human footprints, and are in enough numbers that this could be like a group of bandits, something maybe along those lines. But not any, and like the typical animal tracks you would expect to see, like your deer and your and whatnot. If there are any fresh tracks, it's predator types. I'm gonna say no. You do not notice the people following you because you are a little too caught up in trying to see if in investigating your other surroundings. Yeah. Yarny, being the last one to step out, you arrive about where the person is now looking around right about this time. So you can approach if you wish. You can stay back if you want to just observe.
Yeah, I'll approach.
Enjoy your lurk, Diggy. Okay, you're going to stealthily follow the tracks. It is dark enough that I'm going to say you do not need to roll it. At least until you get a whole lot closer to the source of those tracks. And same thing for you, Yarny. It is now dark enough that you're probably okay.
Okay to what?
To follow. Because
Okay.
suddenly they started moving in a very specific direction.
Which direction would that be? Towards the mines, looking like that, or?
You don't know which direction the mines are, incidentally.
Oh,
You just know there are mines outside of town, but nobody ever said
Do I-
where outside of town.
Oh, okay.
mhm.
Also, what did I miss?
The tiefling has started moving in a very specific direction, almost like they're following something.
So I don't know where the mines are either.
Nope, you don't know where the mines are either.
Damn it! I should have thought of that.
Yeah, you know, you gotta ask the important questions.
Ah, yes, the mines. An unknown town. Okay.
The mines in town you all just arrived in maybe a day or two ago. Yeah.
Shit, I should have picked up that we visitors map.
Oh, you probably did pick up a visitor's map, but it didn't say anything about mines. Apparently they're old enough that they're not something the town wants to draw attention to.
Okay. Did I have to make a roll to follow Dragon Soul?
Yes, because it is dark enough. And you didn't mention bringing any sort of light with you.
No. No, sorry, one minute.
Typical, usual perception awareness roll on that one. At difficulty, let's call it that, is kind of dark.
Sorry, so what am I rolling?
Perception awareness, physical path if you have it. Yes,
So
Dill, thank you for the
awareness
hydrate.
and physical.
I knew I should have refilled my water bottle before I started. Oh well. I'll take a break to refill it if I need to in a little bit.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, you have absolutely no problems keeping track of where the tiefling is going.
Sweet.
And so a few hours later, like about an hour or two later, because it's dark, it is still dark enough that it takes, you're being very careful and slow in your movement. You come across, not a mine, that's for sure, but what looks to be like an old abandoned cabin. With patched walls and a lot of noise coming from inside of it. Oh, whoa, what's this? Says Dragon Soul.
Is Yanni still with us?
Who was I approaching?
You were approaching the tiefling, so you were probably both following the tiefling.
So I guess we'll wait for Dragon Soul to make a move then.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a surprising amount of noise coming from that cabin for something that's looks very abandoned. And smoke coming out of the chimney. Sure. Wits, craft magic. Dragon Soul. Okay. Yes, your spell goes off, giving a brief flash of green light when it does. That's something that both Artless, you, and Yarny are able to see very clearly. And you immediately see inside kind of heat signatures, bodies of about 6 or 8 people. 6 of them are looking like are standing, moving around, very active, etc., etc. 2 of them look to be bound on the floor from the position that the body's in. Yes, and an official hello, Dill. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm loving this, by the way, that one of you is just doing your own stuff, and the others are just following without them being.
Full stalking mode, yeah.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Eldritch Blast? Okay, roll it. Go for it. Um, roll the accuracy for it first, and then I'll let you know how to handle damage. Okay, perfect. Being that it is a wall, it has no DV, it can't move, it can't get out of the way. So that's 7 over its DV of 0. But also being a wall, it's got a little bit of, well, it is Eldritch Magic, to be fair. It has no soak on Eldritch Magic. So roll your damage plus 7 dice. But make sure when you're putting in the actual roll command, do not include the E10. It's just roll however many dice T6. And a few moments later, you both see a blast of sickeningly greenish, it's hard to define the color, energy blast out of, flow from the tiefling's hands and crash right into the wall, bursting it apart, leaving a color's magenta. Okay, so the color is magenta, but like magenta if it was the essence of magenta, dialed up to 11. Leaving a hole about 3 or 4 feet wide and like 5 feet tall in that wall of the cabin. The edges of that hole, unlike a fire explosion, they're not smoking. They're twisting and bending in funny, strange ways. Callista says, "Surprise, motherfuckers!" And, you know, with that, folks, roll join combat.
Okay. Roll. So is this with the E10 D6? T6?
Yes, this is with the E10 D6, T6, exactly.
Ooh.
Okay, we have a result of... Oh, that's hard. Oh, the dice, that's harsh for Dragon Soul. That's a result of 2 successes. 2 for Yarny. Okay, the dice are not liking you all tonight, apparently. And I thought the dice were trying to kill me.
No, I've had pretty bad dice up till this point.
Artless, yours actually is good for the amount you're rolling. Wait, really? That's all you roll for join combat?
Joint
5?
combat's 5.
Wow. I forgot that your join combat was that low. Okay, so we have Yarny. Let me write that correctly. So Yarny and Dragon Soul rolled 2s. Artless had 5. And the bandits. Bandits had, I think, 4. Probably to about midnight at the latest. I don't think it's going to go too much later than that. So, bandits go on 0. Dragon Soul on 1. Yarny and Artless on 2. Okay, the bandits start pouring out of the hole, rushing at the fool mage who dared damage their space, their home, away from the town where they're clearly not welcome. There's half a dozen of them. 2 of them, however, touch the edges of the hole and manage to fuse into the wall.
What the fuck?
What?
Yes. Leaving just 4 of them to get in range to try to attack the mage. That's 2 successes. What is your DV, Dragon Soul? I'm pretty sure this... Yeah, no. But they're blinded still from the flash of light, and their swings go really wide and go right past you. They're dealing with relatively fast weapons, like normal speed weapons, so they're going to move again on 2. On tick 1 is Dragon Soul's turn. What would you like to do? So just to kind of give a quick explanation for combat for folks who are not familiar with the system, it works off of a tick system. Your join battle dictates kind of where you start. Your actions have a speed from 1 to 3. And whenever you do an action, that gets added to wherever your current tick number is, and that's the next tick you move on. When you're trying to dodge out of the way of stuff, you do have a penalty based on the speed of your last action, unless you make a roll to try to negate it. And if you want to do that, I'll let you know the roll. But since this is the first action of the round, you don't have to worry about it, Dragon Soul. Your DV is normal. And then once Dragon Soul makes their choice, Artless and Yarny, you will be going on the same tick.
Okay.
Also, I need to pay attention to 1 or 2 things real quick. Mostly to make sure we don't have Chris, confused as to how to join. Even though I thought I made it fairly clear. And yeah, in the meanwhile, if you both want to start thinking about what you might want to do with the 4 bandits who are now rushing the mage who fired off a weird spell. I'll argue you can't teleport back, but you can generate a small shockwave that will push you back 25 feet. Roughly, basically 1 zone for that 1 FP. Okay, cool. You can make an attack and then that. However, you're going to be at an increasing penalty for those 2 rolls. Your spell will be at a penalty of 1 dice, so you'll lose 1 die on it, and the The backwards pulse will be at -2 dice. It's a combo action, and that's the sort of thing that happens with combo actions. However, it's a interesting enough combination of things and dramatic enough. I'd say it's worth one bonus. It's worth one bonus stunt die. So you're just rolling the second spell at -1. So yeah, go for it. Attack at normal, second spell at -1. Flurry is the actual term I was looking for there. The second spell is going to be Wits Craft Magic, and if you have any bonuses for Eldritch Magic, put that into that roll at -1 die. So let me know when you've made the rolls. Yes, the specialty in Eldritch Magic applies. It's already applied for your attack, but it will apply for the space making spell too. Just it won't deal any damage. It'll be just a little too low to deal any damage to them. Yes, wits plus craft magic plus your specialty -1. Exactly. Okay. Okay, so that's the roll for the spell to knock you back. Also, don't make your attack spell roll as well, but that's at normal. Don't forget that one. So So 4 successes for the second spell, 5 for the first. The bandits would have minus the 2. So 2 over. So roll your attacks damage at +2 dice, and then roll your attacks damage at -1 because of their armor. Yeah, 6 dice then. I believe that's correct. Okay. I assume that's the Eldritch Blast again for your attack. Okay. So another hit pulse of that super magenta-y energy shoots out from the tiefling's hands, thoroughly burning and melting somehow one of the bandits in front of her, before a second, much more dull bit of the magenta energy sends her flying back to roughly where you both are. So,
nice.
Okay.
Yep, she is right next to both of you now as a result. I'm gonna say that's a speed 2 overall action because of the custom spell is a little bit slower, and so that means you're gonna be moving on tick 3. And Callista says, "Sup." So,
Hello.
You're doing great.
thank you, Dragon Soul. Okay, Yarny and Artless, your turn.
I like it.
Okay.
So there's
I'm,
just one bandit left, or
There's 3 bandits left that can get to you, and there's 2 that are kind of half fused into the wall.
so I'm not too worried about those ones.
Yes, fused somehow into that wall.
I like it.
I'm gonna use my wave of fire to create a wall of fire to have a nice barrier between us.
Okay. The wave of fire usually would dissipate within a few seconds. It's literally like a wave that passes.
Okay.
If you want a wall of fire, you can do an exaggerated form of your fire shield.
Okay.
But it'll be a little bit more difficult of a spell to pull off because you have to make some adjustments to the
Yeah.
casting.
Okay.
Okay. So roll your fire shield's accuracy.
Okay. So let's see. That's so 11.
Yeah, let's call it that. Maybe that. No, we'll call it we'll call it difficulty 4. So as long as you get 4 or more successes, you're good.
Woo!
Just enough.
Just enough.
Just enough. Okay, and what are you doing, Artless?
So they're kind of at range right now, right?
Yeah, they're at range.
I'll
It
use
There's
is
no wall of fire blocking them.
not
yeah.
yet. Not
Oh,
yet.
not yet.
I'll use my ranged attack. Shoot him with my gun.
You'll shoot him with your gun. Okay. Okay, so roll the attack. So here's the trick. Actions that happen on a given tick all go off at the same time.
Yes, I got a gun.
Yes.
A primitive
Gun, but nonetheless a gun. What? You're using Eldritch magic. How is a gun surprising to you?
it's like single
What
shot.
is this witchcraft?
Yeah, practically right. All right. So what am I rolling for?
Roll your normal accuracy for the gun. You should have it listed on your character sheet somewhere.
Rifle accuracy. There we go. Okay.
Yep.
What's that? 12. 12 accuracy. That's the one. I'm just rolling accuracy.
Yep, you're just rolling accuracy for now. Also, Yarny, what's this? Oh no, that's your fire shield is speed 1, right?
Oh,
Yes.
is this
What speed
Do I
is the
do-
guns? What speed is the guns attack? Artless.
speed is 2?
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Do I do the E10 for this one?
Yes, the E10 is there for the attack roll.
Okay, sweet. I'll re-roll that.
You know what? Just roll one d10.
Oh, do I need to go T6, right?
No, you're good. Well, I'll just add it in. It's so 9 successes total.
Okay.
So what happens is this: a wall of fire suddenly appears between the 3 of you and the bandits on the other side. Very close to the bandits, incidentally. And I'll see that in a second, Buttons. I'll read that in a second. And then the bullet fires from Artless's gun at one of the bandits, touching the wall of fire and exploding upon hitting it, thus turning its damage into an AoE like little mini grenade explosion.
No.
Shrapnel, yep. Including some shrapnel coming back at you guys, potentially. So, Artless roll damage at, again, wall of fire, so no DV, at +9. Oof. And shrapnel will pierce armor, because he has shrapnel. Unless you're, like, in plate armor.
So what am I rolling for damage?
You should have a damage number next to the gun.
Okay. I got speed, accuracy, Oh, you're right. There it is. Okay.
It's like a simple
I got
plus
a +2. So.
yeah, and then add 9 dice to that because you breached the DV of
It's the
this
magical kind,
thing.
Meta Knight. It's the magical kind.
It's like like a musket type pistol. I forget what those were called. Do the rounds penetrate plot armor? Flintlock, yes, thank you, Dragon Soul. It's like a flintlock. Yeah, exactly, Meta Knight, exactly.
I got 5, so it's +2 and then 5. Like to the right of that. What is that?
The 5 is the total damage, is your total base. So roll 14 dice for damage. Now, that said, it is AoE, so the further you get away from it, the less of the damage you're actually seeing.
Oh, I only got 4.
Yeah, okay. That means most of the shrapnel that the bullet explodes into penetrates 2 of the nearby bandits, thoroughly knocking them down to the ground and bleeding out. A couple of the pieces of the shrapnel come flying back towards you, 3, but they fall about a foot short because there's not quite enough power to it.
Cool.
And now the bandits are thoroughly confused because, there are 2 mages here. And now tick 3, which is Dragon Soul and Yarny. So you get to go again, Yarny, and Dragon Soul, you have your next turn. Indeed, Buttons. Indeed. Being able to swim in water that has icebergs in it without freezing to death is too unrealistic. So that's 3 of the bandits down, leaving 1 left behind that firewall.
Well, first of all, I want to ask the tiefling what the hell is going on here.
You can do that as a miscellaneous free action, sure.
Okay.
As long as it's quick.
Who are these people? What? Who started this?
Callista, the tiefling, says, "It's magic, bitch. I ain't gotta explain shit."
Well, why are you trying to kill these people?
Clearly they look like bandits to you. And you can see a couple of tied up people being held hostage in the cabin.
Okay.
So that much is obvious.
So what's the range of my explosion?
Oh, your explosion is 1 zone. So if you were to rush up to the bandit... 1 zone. So if you were to rush up to the bandits... If you were to rush up to the bandits, 2 of who are bleeding out but still alive one of whom is kind of on the floor, not quite dead, but looks in pretty bad shape. Your new friends would just be barely out of range of the explosion.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I think you up, or did you up the AoE at all? Yeah, you upped the AoE by 1, so it's fairly beefy.
So most of them look like they're not in a condition to fight?
Most of them are not in a condition to fight now. Considering 2 are fused into a wall, 2 are bleeding on the ground, 1 is down on the knee.
I'm just going to start walking over there.
Calista says they have hostages. And yes, you can, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult of a spell to successfully cast because it's not the spell you have memorized. Exactly. Same way that the fire wall came from a fire shield. You don't lose accuracy. You just need to hit more successes for it to work. Ordinarily, you'd be like at 3 successes for a memorized Eldritch spell. You'd probably need 5 successes for something that you've modified. Like that. Maybe 4. Yeah, no, that was beautiful meta. That was absolutely beautiful. Okay, you'll do that. So each of you go ahead, roll your attacks, whatever you're going to be doing. Okay. Yeah, absolutely no problems there. Yarny? You're walking forward, and what else are you doing?
Do I see the hostages at all?
You see them. They're safely in the cabin.
Okay. Okay, no one's... I don't see anyone... Any bandits near them?
Nope. Unless you count the 2 that are melted into the walls.
I think they're probably fine.
Considering they're facing the opposite direction of the hostages and their weapons, they're like half their body is melded into the wall. Yeah, they probably can't really do much.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk my way over there and then stand in the fire and tell them to stand down.
Okay, go for it. So you don't have to roll for that. That just happens. It's we'll call that speed 2 because you're walking normally. So you will move again on tick 5. The Eldritch Blast is speed 1 or 2. Dragon Soul. Speed 2. Okay. So those bandit. Here's what happens then. The fire mage starts walking forward as a wave of eldritch energy shoots forward, which means Yarny, you're gonna need to make an emergency dodge roll to get the heck out of the way of it. It's gonna be finesse and athletics to get out of the way in time. Environmental, if you have the path. Yes, there's a warlock who deals in eldritch magic. Because of course, why not? And then there's the one bandit who is effectively stuck in at DV3. So you're rolling your damage, Dragon Soul, at +6 dice. +3 overall, we'll call it. Okay. Got it. You're able to almost get out of the way of that particular wave. It clips your outer clothing. Where it clipped your outer clothing, it doesn't burn away. It turns into a tentacle.
Okay.
No, you're not rolling for each target. You're just rolling once. Since it's just one wave that's kind of pushing through. Your base 5, yeah, it should be 5 because we're sitting at +6. Is that the base damage for it? Dragon Soul? Because if that's the base damage, you're actually rolling 8. Yeah, 5 + 6 - 3 would be 8. Yeah, that's what it would be. And that thoroughly shreds the 3 wounded bandits. 2 of which the bodies are now one body. Somehow. The third one, the one who wasn't on the floor bleeding already, dead, but with the lower body of. Is that an octopus? You're pretty sure it's an octopus. And the last one, the one who was perfectly healthy, not quite dead yet, but when a person suddenly becomes a tree, they're not really a threat anymore. Let's just say.
True.
And the wave continues going in, squeaking past the bandits that are now part of the wall, and turning the other wall, the one that's exposed, from wood to brick. So there's now a patch of the wall that's brick in an otherwise wood-walled cabin.
Some funky magic going on.
Well, okay, this tree isn't dangerous. Because it's very confused how it came to be in this spot, not quite rooted.
Confused
Yet
tree.
still fine.
Yes.
After your dodge, Yarny, do you still keep walking forward? Considering what you see happen before your very eyes.
It's a great question. I'm gonna turn around and ask, what the hell are you guys doing? Can we? They're in no condition to fight. We could get some answers out of these people.
Oh yeah.
2 of them, sure, you could get answers out of still.
Not the tree. We can't.
No.
The tree.
No, not the tree. Not the tree.
I'm a speak tree. All right, so we won.
Yeah, basically you've won. Combat over.
Sweet.
You
Should
also
we
have
introduce
two
ourselves to each
very traumatized looking hostages in the cabin who've seen all of this happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I'm surprised they survived.
They were just outside of range of the original blast, so the wave didn't hit them.
That's good.
And
Oh, we could
yeah,
talk.
and don't forget, Yarny, you do now have a tentacle as part of your clothing.
Sure. It's decoration.
It's a helpful tentacle. It's offering to hold something up for you.
Oh, nice.
Some nice tentacle support.
Tentacles.
I'll give the tentacle a little pat.
Very nice.
Oh my god.
Very nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
I thought I saw this in an off-brand anime somewhere. All right. Who's moving first? We're out of combat now. So
You're
we
all
can
out of
just-
combat, so you can move normally.
Okay. I should
The hostages
probably...
are screaming. The bandits fused into the wall are understandably screaming. Especially as they see if the tiefling moves at all.
Right.
They start screaming even
Can I
louder.
introduce myself to
Sure.
to the tiefling and Yanni?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Merrick.
Hello, my name is Agnia. You can call me Nia. And what can, and then I look over at the tiefling. Can you explain what the hell just happened? Why did you suddenly blast a hole in this door?
Dragon Soul is typing at the moment. Let's give her a moment or two.
I'm also making an assumption we're all after the same thing here.
She says, Callista, I saw they had hostages, and I didn't want them to come to harm.
Hmm.
Okay, well, blasting a hole in the wall is a risky way of going about that.
Can I approach one of the bandits?
They can't move? Sure. Callista adds, as for the magic, well, like I said, it's magic, bitch. I ain't gotta explain shit.
All right, I approach a hostage. Or not a hostage, a bandit.
Yeah. The bandits can't move, so feel free to ask them as many questions as you like, assuming you can get them to stop screaming.
Okay, I grab one by the throat and begin throttling.
It's kind of awkward throttling when half the throat is in the wall, but yeah, sure.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, I push the rest of his face more into the wall as much as
So
I
those
can.
are the two that are alive, the ones that are in the walls?
Yeah, basically.
They're not going anywhere, so I'm gonna go over to the hostages, untie them or whatever.
Can I ask them what they're doing here? The bandit.
They keep screaming.
Damn.
Oh no, the madness has touched them.
Yes.
One of them's, you do pick out one or two words. Thank you for the resubscription, Dragon Soul. One of them goes all. You hear a little bit of babbling about something you can't quite understand. It doesn't sound like any language you're familiar with. But it certainly, it sounds very serious, at the very least.
Okay. Can I kill them?
You can kill them, yes.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. I draw my sword and slit their throats, I guess.
As you're drawing your sword, Callista says, "Wait!"
I wait.
Wait, why is there murder? It's not murder, it's mercy. It's putting them out of their misery.
Kind of. You can see it that way.
Because otherwise they're stuck, merged into a
in a
wall for the rest of
cabin.
their lives, however short
Yeah.
that is. Yes, Callista can understand the one that's speaking Eldritch. He's babbling on and on about
Whoa, Meta Knight.
as long as you're oh.
No arson, but murder's fine. What is this moral system of yours, Meta Knight?
It is appropriate for someone using Meta Knight, yeah. The thief that is babbling in Eldritch is saying something about, just trying to describe the Elder God that you tapped into, getting a whole lot of details wrong because it's hard to describe Elder Gods if you're not used to them. And, a lot of it is like that kind of weird babble. There is every once in a while an occasional bit about a cave about 20-minute walk from here. And equally weird stuff happening. Callista speaking Eldritch. Answer me, bandit. Why did you take these people? Again in Eldritch. Money. Hostages. Ransom. Found cart overturned with bitten wheels bitten in half and melted wood and the like. The bandit, when asked where is your master, the bandit points to the tree.
Hmm. Do you speak tree? Callista?
The tree looks like it's trying to say something with how it's waving about, but none of you speak tree, so you have absolutely no clue.
Okay. Unfortunate. You should have taken that class.
Oh, no. It's just the two that got fused into the wall. Because they got hit with enough Eldritch energy, they touched the Eldritch, so now they can understand Eldritch. But only a little bit. And it sounds like kindergartner Eldritch speech. So if they stay alive, they have some interesting choices, assuming they can ever separate themselves from that wall. Maybe. They kind of ran into it, so it is sort of their fault. Calista says, all right, you mentioned a cave. Where is it? More babbling, and you get 3 different numbers from about 20 minutes to the north, about 10 minutes to the east, and several light years into the elder being's uh, uh, body. Clearly, that's the correct one.
Clearly.
Well, yeah, no, Meta Knight is right. They sort of consented when they ran into the weird pulsating remnants of the walls. You know, they could have gone through it more carefully, but no, they just rushed through. And yeah, became part of the walls, as you do, Totally.
Reject humanity, embrace wall.
Reject humanity, embrace wall. Exactly. So far from what I gathered from
Things
this,
will burn.
you still can't be in the same room. Things will burn. Callista goes, so 15 minutes to the northeast? The other bandit nods. And says, yeah. This in a language you all can understand. Clearly, this one has slightly better sanity than the his companion. Okay, we've got one more thing coming in from Dragon Soul.
Yummy.
Saying, okay. So Callista does something, and the remaining bandits stop breathing and pass peacefully.
All right, I put my sword away.
Experience Eldritch Touchers. Maybe they just got lucky. It's bound to happen once or twice.
All right. What did Yanni do with the hostages?
Well,
I was
they're
freeing
freed.
them and then
They're freed,
Okay.
but they're practically stone, just petrified in place from all the weirdness.
Okay.
Babbling their own sort of like impossible to understand stuff, but this is distinctly in at least a known language.
So if I ask them about the cave, will they answer?
Oh, you can ask them about the cave. They just start babbling on of something about that weird magenta and the screams of the bandits.
Take one and slap him as hard as I can across the face.
What?
Are they better? Did it fix it?
Oh, that one stops babbling.
No.
Now
That's a move in the right direction.
Now he's just kind of like looking at you like, why did you do that?
I'm gonna grab his hand and
I ask about the mines.
what the hell are you doing?
Shit.
Helping.
We need information about the mines.
How's slapping them gonna get any information out of them?
Trust me, I've been doing this for years.
Yes, Artlos just slapped a hostage.
As hard as I could.
Well, did it work?
I think so.
Sort of. He calmed down. He's not saying anything now, though. He's shut up.
I asked my question.
Where
is the mine?
What mine?
Damn it. Well, they're no use to me. I toss them to the ground.
Awesome.
Oh, oh, what a nice bunch some of you are. What a nice
All
bunch
right,
some
well,
of you are.
I'll leave them to you, Nia.
I think okay. So they're just babbling.
Well,
One of
they
them is
start-
babbling. The other one is now
Okay.
at least calm. To some degree of the word.
Would you like me to slap the other one?
No, that's quite all right.
It's more
I'm gonna
quiet
try
from
to
shock
do-
than calm, to be fair. Callista is apparently going to approach the quiet and calmed down one.
I'm gonna use some fire magic to do extend my hand and then have some interesting pleasant fireworks come out, just like a pleasant display, like an amusing just
Sure. I'm
put on
gonna
a
say
little fireworks display in my hand.
I'm gonna say you can do that without making any rolls. It's probably something you've done a million times before.
While this is happening, I'm searching corpses for equipment.
Just trying to calm them down.
There's not a lot of useful equipment anymore. Considering, with the exception of one set of swords that used to be two swords, but have now been melded together into kind of a sword staff. A very short sword staff, but nonetheless a sword staff.
Okay.
Callista's asking the calm one, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" That one says, "Okay. What's okay?" that and that and that and that, and then just starts screaming again. Clearly not hurt though. The hilts kind of disappeared into the handle of the other one. No. They're just in such shock that it's like, it's a temporary little wake up, and then they look around and realize, oh shit, and then the horror comes back in again, and reality sets in again.
Can I use perception awareness to search the house?
You have time. You can search the house. There are some valuables. It's enough to amount for like a couple nights stay in the tavern.
I take it
and
all
maybe
for
some
myself.
food.
No one notices I'm doing this, right? They're busy. I'm looting. We're good.
Oh, you can attempt telepathy. No guarantee it's gonna work though.
Oh, nice.
Probably easier to attempt telepathy with the other one, who has sort of passed out slightly, like from screaming. Yes, exactly. If you find two halves of a coconut, you have a new mount. That is always how it works, don't you know? Okay. Uh, yes. You're able to read basically normal merchant memories from them. This one is at least aware of the mine, but it's been abandoned for a long time, and
Do we get a location?
apparently the screams that were coming from it, that was a party by some youth that had decided to adopt the mine as a cool place to have a party that's not being supervised.
Damn news.
Yeah, so that's all that was going on with that.
Hmm.
Oh, you have an exact location, all right. But you don't need that location because the screaming the people claim to have heard, it's like a weird sort of death folk music that's coming from about
Death
10 minutes
folk.
away from you.
Classic. Favorite
You can
genre.
all hear it very clearly now.
Alright, so we're just interested in this cave now, right?
Pretty much.
Alright.
Pretty much. Unless Dragon Soul decides that Callista wants to, make sure there's absolutely nothing else up going on with that mine. Yes, they're metalheads, just folk music. No, they're two different places.
Oh,
Okay.
Hmm.
So Callista is very clearly starting to head in the direction of one of something. It's not the mines because, well, that's the other direction. They're more towards the
Yeah,
northwest.
I'm interested in the cave now.
Yeah. Did Callista specifically state in a language the others can understand that there's a set of caves,
Oh.
or was that all in Eldritch? Because if it was all in Eldritch, all the rest of you know is that something was said, but not what.
Hmm. Callista. What did they say?
Did she mention the caves out loud? Okay, so you're aware of the caves.
okay.
Okay.
It is also
No.
incredibly late now, and y'all might want to get a little bit of sleep before you go out to those caves.
Wasn't it night when we arrived?
It was night when you arrived, and it's gotten even closer to night, later into the nighttime.
Okay. Hmm.
It's probably about midnight, maybe 1 a.m. ish.
Hmm. We could set up camp.
You could just set up camp if you want. Yeah, if you've got the. I would assume that at least one of you would have the means to set up camp for a group.
Hopefully.
I mean, this cabin probably has.
It's not raining or anything. We can light a fire. There was a fire in the cabin.
There was a fire in the cabin. That's true.
Yeah.
Good luck moving the hostages right now, though. They flinch whenever you try to touch them, especially you, Callista.
I'm not bothered by the hostages, so I find it.
Callista says, "All right." Callista actually says, "All right, let's get the hostages back to town and see if we can't get a good night's sleep."
Tilts dice.
Sounds like a plan.
But so yes, Callista cannot touch the hostages. They just start screaming again the moment and backing away the moment Callista tries to get anywhere near them.
All right, Callista
Oh.
and Nia, would you? Is it Nia? Shit,
Yes, yes. Mhm.
Nia. Would you like to camp here, or should we head back to town?
I would rather head back to town. Who knows if more bandits will make their way over here. I'd
Could
rather
be
not
fun.
risk any disturbances while we sleep.
All right, Callista.
Okay. Waiting on a response from Dragon Soul currently. Oop. Callista sighs and says, "Look, you can stay here if you want, but it's a bit exposed. There's probably plenty of things out in the woods that want to eat you. I'm heading back to town. I'd recommend you join me."
All right. I grab one of the hostages by the scruff of his neck and begin dragging him towards town.
That one very quickly realizes what's going on and, starts walking, not wanting to be dragged.
Perfect.
The other, seeing that, quickly falls into line, muttering something under their breath about crazy adventurers.
All right.
It takes you a lot less time to get back to town since you have your own tracks to follow, and well, the tentacle clothing piece of Yarny's clothing is holding up a little lantern it somehow sprouted from its tip.
Yes.
Look at that. That's nice.
It gives you
That
just
poor
enough
guy.
light to see the path by a little more clearly.
All right. We should maybe. What do we do with the hostages?
Um.
I'm not paying for a room.
You're not. Yeah.
I'll ask. Do you live in this village?
The moment you get into into town proper, they actually book it away from all three of you. It looks like one of them is running towards one of the guards.
Great.
Okay.
And after a few minutes of excited talking from that particular hostage and a lot of head shaking from the guard, the hostage just kind of walks away, dejected looking. It's very clear the guard did not believe a word they said. I mean, would you believe a word about, people
No.
fusing to walls, somebody becoming a tree in front of your
I would
eyes? And you all have your rooms at the tavern, so the inn portion of it. So you do have a place to stay for the night.
I do not have a room.
You didn't take a room?
No.
Oh, well, you're
slept
lucky.
outside.
Well, you're lucky. There is a spare room.
Okay. I guess I'll take it. Try to get some good. Shall I?
Yep. Morning comes. The roosters crowing threatens to wake all of you up unless you're early risers.
Hmm.
And the town very quickly starts showing the sounds of a town waking up and springing back to life.
Yeah, I'll be awake with the dawn.
Yep, I get up early and head to the Adventurers Guild.
I guess
To
because
turn
you
in the
actually you actually
quest.
accepted the quest.
Yeah. I know what happened at the mine.
The receptionist at the guild thanks you with an exasperated sigh. I was afraid that that's all it was. Some idiots playing in an abandoned mine. But you can't assume anything these days. Oh no, that's true. You can't do it because you weren't told what happened at the mine.
Fuck.
You only know about the cave.
Motherfucker. God damn it.
It's the problem of conversations being held in a language you don't understand and never
God.
could really have a hope of understanding. Okay, is Callista joining Marek for the trip to the Adventurers Guild to turn in the quest? Then, since Callista knows what happened, there's the question. Well, while Dragon Soul makes a decision with that. No, Callista views the Adventurers Guild as a bunch of lazy bums trying to profit off other people's misfortune.
Damn it. Alright, well,
I'm going to drop some stars for people to play with real quick. There you go.
So I guess we're all together, or are we? Some
That
of
is
us
up to you
still
three.
in our
That is
separate
up to you
groups?
three if you want to go out together as a group or again on your own separate ways.
Um. hmm, What do you guys think?
Callista's going back out to the cave. Okay. So Callista is
With
dealing with the
that,
cave for sure.
yeah. I'm definitely heading there. It's just, will I head there with the group? I think I might as well.
Okay. Suggesting don't split the party. Well, I don't want to, but it's up to them if they want to actually form a party in the first place. They haven't officially formed one.
No. Yeah.
They're doing that solo adventurers happening on the same location, helping each other out a little
That's
bit
rough,
thing. Indeed, indeed. So yes, you do have an opportunity because you probably want to have some breakfast before you head out to kind of talk this over with each other and see, do you want to continue handling this together, or do you want to go your separate ways and make promises not to try to get in each other's way too much should you run into each other again?
Callista is very strong. Would be nice. I wouldn't mind. Possibly. Don't get any ideas, but We could form a temporary group of sorts.
Temporary group of sorts. Don't get any ideas. A little soon, are we? Tonight, Artless.
Well,
Yarny.
my last party bailed on me, so I don't want to. Got some
That's a good
abandonment
point.
issues.
That's a good point. They did disappear on you. Yeah, you know where Star's character wandered off to, because she made it very clear what she was off to do, whatever it is Star decides she was off doing. The
Yes.
others, though, they just kind of vanished
Damn.
for a time.
Wow.
So yeah, Yarny, you know how Merrick feels on the matter. Um, are you inclined to accept this totally not an actual proposal to join up as a group?
Yes.
Okay. Dragon Soul, is it fair to say you also accept this proposal? Close to fine, but don't think this means friends, and no funny business.
Of course. All right. So we hit after a hearty meal, a hearty breakfast,
Yep, nice hearty
some
breakfast.
some nice oats.
A good breakfast ale as well, because, you know, can't have a
good
good start
breakfast
today without a
ale.
breakfast ale.
Yeah. So we had some Lucky Charms with ale.
And out to the cave. Yes, your focus points, if you used any on magic, are all back to full from a good night's sleep.
Alrighty.
Exactly,
All right.
exactly.
So we're on our way to the cave. Sweet.
Yep, it's a pretty short walk in the daytime, now that you can actually all see where you're going very clearly. Thing to note, as you're on your way out and generally interacting with people, people are giving you some very weird looks, your character, Yarny. I mean, most people don't have a tentacle on their clothing, so it's sort of understandable. But the tentacle seems friendly enough and is like waving at everyone who looks.
We'll give the little tentacle a pat.
And as you're approaching the cave, when you're like getting really close to it, you all hear it very loud and clear. A lot of growling and roars and yes, like all manner of noises like that, and it's a lot of them. Clearly,
Can
whatever's in there,
I-
it's a big pack.
Or
But you hear it from within the cave. There's nothing outside the cave directly.
um. Could I?
How far into the cave can we see?
Not very.
Right.
It's very dark in there.
Okay.
Yes, yes, Dragon Soul. You can use your magic to light up the inside of the cave. We'll say that's that's an easy to do. That's call it like you don't have to roll for that one. You have time to kind of work that spell out, and just make it work. That's easy. Call it one focus point. That's all you need. Yeah. General rule of thumb is if you have the time to do it if it's something you should be able to do without having any real challenge, or if you have the time to remove any of the challenge or take your time with it, you can just do it, usually. It's only when when it's difficult or when there's something kind of getting in your way, or you have to do it fast, that rolls come into play. So, yeah. So the cave entrance lights up with that super hyper magenta light. And the edges of the cave start to get fuzzy wherever the light touches it.
Fuzzy?
Fuzzy, yeah. So like in a video game where you have sharp clear textures, but they're now dropping to like say medium textures. You're starting to get that sort of weird pixelization wherever the light is touching like the stone of the cave.
Well, I'll let.
So can I detect any
let the
sort of
others go
magic?
first.
Oh, you can see the magic. It's coming from Callista.
Right.
Well, like
I'll let Callista go first.
from the cave itself, other than the lights, or is
I'll
that just
say
from the light itself?
It's just from the light.
Okay.
It's wherever the light touches. Yeah, exactly. Like when you don't have anti-aliasing on. But it's doing it wherever the light happens to touch a surface. A natural
Okay,
surface.
I'm gonna throw up a little magical flame so I can see normal things.
Yeah, speaking of seeing things, Artless and Yarny, roll perception awareness. Physical.
Okay. Physical.
Okay, 2 successes and 4. Okay, Yarny, you can't really make out much detail in shapes that the shadows are taking in some spots. Your little tentacle seems to be liking what it sees, though. So clearly it's the same
He's a happy
sort of
little
stuff.
tentacle.
It's the same sort of stuff. Artless, you can see some very clear shapes that don't belong in this world.
Oh.
Around you as you walk.
I have a bad feeling about this. Can I use that?
Yes, you can, and it points squarely at a bit of the eldritch power leaking out of your friend Callista,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
effects it's having on the world around you. You know.
I put my hood up and to make sure none of it gets on me.
And roll willpower real quick.
Oh my god.
Both of you and Yarny.
Both of us? Okay.
Yeah, both of you.
Willpower, sweet. Okay, come on. Some...
Ooh.
No, you're fine, Dragon Soul. You see this stuff all the time. Okay. Yarny, your mage, being a mage, has seen some weird stuff before, and it takes you a little while to kind of come to terms with, okay, so this is the new reality. I think I'm okay. Artless, it takes you a hell of a lot longer. You're like halfway into the entrance of the cave, and it's a pretty deep entrance. before you finally shake off that feeling of dread
Right.
and avoid starting to go a little bit insane.
These fucking wizards and witches, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Not my
Exactly.
cup of tea. Alright.
As you get
Alright, I
towards
guess
the
we continue.
Yep, as you get towards the back of the entrance, there are two distinct paths you can see, one on the left, one on the right. Ah, yes, as Dragon Soul puts it, wizards, witches, and non-binary bitches. I like that phrasing. I like that phrasing a lot, actually. That's okay, that's there. I'm keeping an eye on Discord to see if like a notification pops up of, Chris is actually joining us or something.
Imagine. We were just
Yeah, I
playing
know.
Chris in the Cave.
I mean, it's a possibility, I suppose.
Hmm.
So yeah, you've got a path to
Alright,
the left, a path to the right. Um,
I choose the right path.
you choose the right path automatically, okay?
Mhm.
Do the two of you follow?
Oh, okay. Are we going? Okay, I guess we're going this way. I'll follow behind, and I'm gonna kind of using my fire magic, kind of make us kind of scorch the wall as I go to kind of mark as we walk.
Callista's going the other way, though.
Callista's
So
going left.
choose who you
Okay.
follow.
So Callista's going left. Merrick is going to the right. Oh boy, party is splitting itself.
She'll be right. Which way are you going, Nia?
I'm gonna go the right. I'm gonna follow behind you, and I'm just kind of like.
That's good. I don't
Using
have
my
light source. Thank you.
I'm gonna
Okay.
use my fire to kind of essentially mark the way we're going.
Okay, yeah, you can do
It
that.
just because who knows, this could be amazing here.
It very well could
We don't
be.
want to
You're
get
right.
lost.
It very well could be a maze.
So it's like black soot on the just like
Black soot. Yep.
2 fingers wide as we're walking.
Gotcha. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's totally something you could do.
Yeah, just like a
So-
little tiny flame.
We'll resolve the left path first.
Okay.
The light from Callista's magenta light intensifies. Even though you clearly did not tell it to intensify. Your patron that you're drawing off of is waking up a little bit. And as the light intensifies, the path ahead of you starts twisting and turning. You're walking up the walls, on the ceiling a little bit until like what feels
be
like a mile ahead. The light blinks out of existence. And the only thing that keeps you from being completely stuck in the dark is the clear fire of Nia's flame. And it looks like this wasn't supposed to connect up. That passageway that leads to where clearly they're walking wasn't here originally, from all the weird bends and patterns. The wall pattern does not look remotely normal for the rest of this cave. But, yeah. It's, found you back to the rest of the group.
Patron says, "Stay with the group."
Yes, Eldritch Patron messing with your magic. Yes, exactly. You can try to tap into the magic again and try to recast it if you want. You do. The light flickers back up briefly to about a tenth of its original brightness, and then winks back out as a horrendous headache racks through your brain, with a very distinct whispering from the voice of the being, "Cut it out." They go into a new cabin, and a group of peasants are playing Sellers and Lizards. With another followed whisper of something along the lines of, "If you're gonna use my powers, don't use it for something this stupid." Any further attempts to try to make cast the light will result in a very clear, the entity is on alert and awake enough to try to stop you. So you can try to force it, but it's now you got to roll, and it's going to be a very difficult roll. I'll leave it at
Papa
that.
says no.
Papa says no, exactly. That said, the path has not been terribly clear for you both on the right either. There have been some twists and turns that look fairly natural. And
Barely?
fairly. Like, they weren't formed by, like, say, water rushing through. It looks like some of it was dug out by
Okay.
whatever has claws that can dig like that is kind of scary looking.
Okay, so they're not man-made. Or...
They're not man-made, no.
Okay.
And they're certainly not the patterns you were noticing when Callista was still walking beside you. Okay. You, as Callista starts walking like very close near to you again, you hear Eldritch speech, which translates, although you don't know it, to this: "All right, listen here, you burning silicon smelling blue screen of death looking pile of gunk. Don't you come in here, interfere with my magic, and give me your hangover." It is very clear, though, from the tone that Callista is not happy. And whoever she's shouting at has done something horribly, horribly wrong.
Oh, is she with us now?
She's somehow found her way back to you. Even
Okay.
though, like, a moment or two ago, there wasn't a passageway where she just emerged from. And that
Family
passageway
dispute?
looks weird. Like, the rest of this cave has not been a weird purple, magenta-y veined marble, like, texture. But those walls are. And they look way wider than they have any right to be. Way, way bigger.
Okay. I asked Callista what the hell she did.
Having some family issues, are we?
Oh, I love those responses. Those are so good. Darn it, I'm out of water now. Okay, we've got Dragon Soul typing. All my family is dead, and I don't talk to ghosts. That's a response. for everyone in the audience.
Okay.
All right. I continue away from the whole Callista game, Adam. Not interested in that. Thank you very much.
You eventually reach a dead end. Clearly, one of the turns you made was not the right turn.
All right. Well, I guess we'll follow the soot back to the last fork and then head that direction.
Hold on, Callista. What happened? How did she end up with us?
Oh, you're asking Callista how she managed to connect
Yeah.
back up with you both. Thank you. Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Weather boy.
Oh, oh, real sassy.
Well,
Okay, so Dragon Soul saying more basalt than marble, to be honest, for that one section of wall. Sure, more basalt works than marble.
Mm-hmm.
what do you want to do, Nia?
So you're back at
Let's try one of the other forks.
Okay. You're back at the nearest fork you took. About another 20 minutes down this one, and it becomes another dead end, although this particular dead end has a bunch of bones in it. Like, thoroughly picked clean, shiny white bones. They look human, too. I'm glad I brought this over earlier.
How old do these bones look?
You can't tell is the problem. They're that thoroughly picked clean and shiny from something that you really have no clue. Thank you.
Can I use my advantage?
Which one?
Have a bad feeling about this?
Sure. You don't detect any traps.
All right. Let's go. I continue on.
All right.
Hello, Nero. Welcome, and thank you for the raid. Can somebody give Nero a shout out real quick? Welcome to the ongoing adventures of Callista, Marek, and
Got nothing on me,
Nia.
Dark Falls.
As they're exploring a cave, trying
Seems
to
like a fun
find
time.
something. The weird growls and roars and whatnot.
Why? Why? Oh,
And,
why does he have a second health bar?
Eldritch weird happenings are occurring whenever Callista taps into her Eldritch magic. Exactly. How was your stream, Nero? And I'll show you my shirt in a moment, Nero. Because I think you'll get a kick out of it. Exactly. Somebody was turned into a tree. Voss and Key bullied you, but it was a fun one. I see. Let me pull myself over a little bit. Check out this shirt, by the way. Anyone who hasn't seen it, here's a chance while we're kind of welcoming in raiders.
The dice are trying to kill me.
Because of course they are. as the storyteller, that's what they do. They try to kill you. So yes, back to where we were. You found a pile of bones, and the eagle-eyed among you, namely Artless, you're able to notice this because of your your advantage that you activated. There are some small passageways that it looks like creatures are capable of wandering through. So, yeah.
Creatures?
Creatures of some variety, basically. Yeah, I can make one for you if you want, Nero, depending what you use. I made this one myself with a little bit of just took a standard shirt and adjusted it a little bit.
Sorry, I'm back.
No worries, no worries. But the passageways are far too small for any of you to go down. Way too narrow.
Mm-hmm.
It looks more like, say, your stereotypical fantasy giant rat might be able to go along them, or like a small dog of some variety.
Yuck.
What about my pet tentacle?
Well, your pet tentacle is attached to your clothing, so it can't
I
really
can-
go
I can-
anywhere.
You take your shirt
can-
off.
I can cut him out, free him.
Cut 'em. There you go.
You could free him. True, true. Your tentacle could go down there quite easily, actually.
All right, I'm gonna rip a little tentacle boy out, and then like, okay, hey, all right, boy, go down that hole. Let's let me know what's that down that way.
It starts slithering down the hole. About 10 minutes later, it comes back.
No, I'm not getting rid of him. He's just going. It's just a little scout mission.
I love it. I gave you a friend, you're getting rid of him.
No, he's just helping out. He'll return, right?
Good, so good.
Jail? He'll come back, right?
It takes about 15-20 minutes, but yeah, your buddy comes back. Your buddy totally comes back.
God, we waited that long.
Jesus Christ.
Just sitting there for 20 minutes.
Just lolling about. All right.
Well, yeah, you sent
He's
somebody
coming
out
back.
on a scouting mission. You wait
It's
for
coming
them to
back.
return.
I know it's coming back.
You
I'm about to
don't.
leave at this point.
Callista will remember this.
20 minutes.
Callista will
Thanks,
remember
man.
this. I like that. That is good. That is good.
So, little tentacle boy comes back, right?
Little tentacle boy comes back. Yeah.
Yeah. Give a little pat on a tentacle head. I don't know.
Looks very happy. Starts attaches to your the back of your neck for a moment, and starts flooding your mind with some thoughts and the like.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
And
No consent required, apparently.
and you understand very clearly the extent of the passageways, and they're pretty narrow. They're pretty varied, and kind of how to explore them, kind of how to get where you want to go with them.
Okay. So what
if
did we
you're small enough.
see?
If you're small enough to go through those.
Yeah.
And then pops off,
So,
and then, you
No
know...
big rooms? I didn't find any big rooms or anything?
Oh, it found some big rooms, so, of course, yeah. Totally found huge rooms. Including one that it very quickly skirted away from, because there were all sorts of these... The images you're getting from it, as far as the description of the creatures, you can't really understand. They sound too nonsensical. Body of a dog, teeth of something that doesn't exist in reality.
Okay.
Legs of some creature. It's clearly a natural creature, but it's not one you've ever seen before. Spikes like a porcupine on its back.
I reach into my pocket, grab like a little strip of jerky. I don't know. Hand
I
it
got
to
some
the
sausage.
tentacle.
I have some dried sausage on me. So you can use that.
Any you girls and you could judge. I give the tentacle a little treat. I'm like, I don't know
Tentacle
if
is
it can eat
happily-
this, but here you go.
The tentacle absorbs the jerky somehow.
Oh,
Looks very happy too.
Okay.
Looks very
Give
happy.
it another little pat. Okay.
Exactly.
So, where were some of these rooms in relation to us? Like,
The tentacle seems to points into your bag and points to a pen and paper that you have in there,
oh, okay.
and starts drawing up a small map. In the meanwhile, babbling a little bit to Callista, who can totally understand the tentacle, of course, because you both speak the same dialect of Eldritch. Making it very clear that this tentacle, it's not interested in anything like that, so it really wasn't paying attention for that sort of a thing.
Gotcha.
And when it's done with the map, you have a fairly clear little map with an X to show where you are, and several chambers that have like little skull and crossbones symbols to show where these creatures are.
All right.
And you're surprisingly close to one of them.
Could
Okay.
Callista or Nia blast through the wall? Or
I mean,
is there a path?
I mean, you can try, but you're in a cave. You're in a cave system. Blasting through the wall might, cause a cave-in.
Right.
Even you got.
Can you teleport?
No, I can't teleport.
Can Callista?
So Callista is being asked if she can teleport.
What the fuck?
The listener's response is, "Why would I tell your town crier looking ass?"
True. All right.
And I guess with a sigh, I'm just gonna keep going down the path.
The one downside is you've
The
got
path
where the
doesn't
big
continue,
rooms
does it?
are. But you
Huh.
don't have connective large passages that you can walk
Right.
because your little tentacle friend was using the critters paths. They occasionally cross a path, so you have a few of those on the map, but you don't have one that directly connects to yours. Just one that looks like it's close enough that you might be able to figure it out.
Wait, repeat that?
So there are some bigger passages on the map, kind of like spots of them where the critters tunnels crossed a human path. But you only have like small sections of them, and you don't have any ones that like connect directly to where you are. But you have enough information that you can start making some guesses. Basically.
We can't crawl in the spaces.
I mean, you can try, but they're very narrow. If you were
I'm
a
not
human
gonna-
I'll
child,
pass on that.
you might be able to
Yeah,
get
no.
through them.
I'm claustrophobic. I don't need. Well, fuck. I don't have any ideas about how to continue. What about you, Nia? Callista?
Let's we'll we've got the big areas mapped out. We just have to find a way in there. If we continue on, we can hopefully find an entrance. And we know there's something in there, so we know to be careful.
Hmm.
That is very true. That is very true.
And we'll know if we're going away from where we're trying to get. So,
Sweetie.
is there only...
What about you, Callista?
Sorry about that. Again, briefly distracted by Cat.
um, just if you have any ideas on how to continue.
Well, I will say what you have here. What and you do have a partial map.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're winning because I keep dropping bombs on all of you. That's how. I'm blowing you up into the stars. You do have a partial map with some connections in some places. And enough small sections that you can probably, given enough time, find how they all connect to where you are. If you want to just go the exploration route.
Right.
No worries, no worries. You can simply make a perception investigation roll. Gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wrap up the session very soon. I was planning to anyway.
All right. So perception gathering. That's just 5 for me.
No worries. Yeah, I noticed what time it was getting to, and I need to make sure there's enough time to like give you all XP at the end of it all. So don't worry about it. You'll do a perception gathering roll as well. Okay, go for it.
Yeah. Woo, 0.
That's not a 0. That's a botch because you have a 1 in there and no successes.
Whoops, T. I know where we're going. I know where we're going.
I will explain what happens with that in a moment.
No.
Guys, just trust me. I know what we're doing.
Okay. So, in the course of your explorations, something that should have taken you about half an hour because of Callista and Marek's generally better senses of direction in this instance, takes you the better part of 3 hours because Nia keeps misinterpreting signs and doubling back on places you've already been.
No, guys, come on. Look, I know exactly where we are. I know exactly where we're going.
Including multiple trips through that tunnel that Callista first took that is now looking distinctly weird. Which is how you know you're going in a circle. But eventually you find your way to the first of the beastie rooms. And there's a lot more beasties in here than your tentacle friend initially told you were in here. In fact, it looks like they are all gathered in this one space. And they're all looking at you like your dinner.
I'm gonna blow them up. Blow them up.
There's also a human being at the very back of this chamber.
Oh. Are they like?
They've noticed you.
Have they noticed?
Hey,
Okay.
And they're coming and they're running towards you.
Oh god.
Good. I wasn't sure if it was like another hostage or something. Or like a...
Oh no, no, not a hostage. In fact, they're wearing mage robes.
Oh shit. Fucking mages.
How close are they?
They're about a zone and change away. So if you're fast, I think you can do what I think you want to do.
Do we roll combat?
Yeah, are we in
you kind of
combat?
caught them. You have enough time to each take one action before join combat would have to happen.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna cast explosion on them.
I was expecting this. roll the attack then.
Okay. It's like, nope, not dealing with this.
Let this one resolve first.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you. That was a very good timing. Whoever redeemed that sticker.
What sticker? What?
Stream sticker. Yes. Okay, so roll the damage for explosion at +7 dice. No soak because, frankly speaking, they're all creatures and don't have any. You're gonna use another Eldritch Wave like the one earlier?
The damage number is the number of dice?
The damage number is the number of dice, yeah.
Oh, okay. +7.
+7. Hold on to that thought for a second, Dragon Soul. Hold on to that thought for a second. You'll see why.
Oh my god.
You'll see why. Okay. If that's the damage roll, it does not get the exploding 10s, but that's not an issue. It just subtracts one.
Right.
One success, so you're at 6. So Nia runs forward into the center mass of all of these rushing creatures,
Oh,
and then literally explodes into a massive ball of fire,
Jesus.
scorching the lot of them in one hit. The room now smells of burning flesh really, really strongly. Just so you all know. The mage is, however, still in the back, looking appalled at all of this.
Alright. I cover my face with the cloak to avoid any ash and shit.
yeah, just
And,
just a regular Eldritch
flying
Blast will
guts.
do. Yeah, ash and blood and guts and everything everywhere. Exactly.
And the stench of burnt hair.
Lots of that stench of burnt hair. Exactly. Boom. And the most unusual thing out of all of this is once the fire resides a little bit, Nia is absolutely fine. No scorch marks, no anything. Completely normal looking. Go ahead and roll that Eldritch Blast, Dragon Soul. You're not hearing audio on the stickers? Okay, that's weird. They should have audio. Oh. Some of them I disabled the audio, though, so... I don't know. We'll figure that out a little bit later. Okay, I definitely heard the clown laugh. I did not hear the unicorn dab. We'll resolve that later. Okay. The mage... It's 2 over on the mage's DV, so roll damage plus 2 dice. Again, robes don't give very good defense against eldritch magic. And the mage is down on his knees, panting and wheezing. More to be accurate, his knees are melted into the stone floor. He's not going anywhere. And his hands have become tentacles that are trying to fight each other. Clearly, they're not getting along. All in all, he is looking very disturbed. And
okay, so that's all the enemies, right?
That's all the enemies. Looks at Callista and starts shouting something in Eldritch. The rest of you are starting to be able to recognize Eldritch distinctly from other things, even though, frankly, you have no freaking clue what is being said.
Right.
What the mage is shouting is, "You! Why are you getting in the way of the work of our master?" The insert name of chosen Eldritch god here. Not yours, incidentally. And is throwing all sorts of, horrible, nasty curses in the Eldritch world at you.
Is the room only filled with flesh, ash, and blood?
Basically.
Okay. No loot?
No loot. There's some human bodies in here too, but it looks like they were, and other weird body parts, but it looks like this is half part of how these creatures were being created.
No
Interesting.
worries.
Okay. Waiting in on a response from Dragon Soul. And while we do, I'm going to preemptively load something important for the next few minutes. Okay. Have the file loaded.
Nice.
Because I don't know, I did not include that on my storyteller's cheat sheet, even though I maybe should have. I'm not sure where I'd find the room for it, actually, all things considered.
Well, I approached the wizard.
And the wizard starts yelling things at you in Eldritch too.
I'm still cautious. I don't know how magic fucking works.
As you get close to the wizard, at least like the sound waves coming from his mouth do touch your sword, and the hilt transforms.
Fuck.
uh, you can't quite make out what it's transformed into. It's weird, but it's got like a spiky tip on it now, so it's actually kind of useful, if a little horrifying.
So it's like organic now?
Very organic, yes.
Ah.
Oh.
Callista shouts, has the hilt become crab? Maybe part crab? Maybe part crab. You take innocent people, turn them into monsters, and think I'm the one at fault for stopping you? Bastard! Monster! And who is this master of yours anyway? The wizard repeats, the mage repeats the name. A name you've not heard before, but which sounds reasonably like accurate to be a problem.
So what did I touch again?
Sorry?
What did I touch?
You touched nothing. You just got close enough to the wizard and his shouting
Mm-hmm.
that
Wait, what?
your your sword has been modified slightly as a result.
So did the sword touch something, or was it what made it change?
As far as you can tell, it's just the mage's voice.
Okay, well I stand the hell back. that's enough of that.
Yeah.
The mage continues on in Eldritch. Stop me if you like, but you'll never stop my brothers and sisters. No, we will succeed. We will throw this world into chaos. And in that moment, a weird... It's not magenta in this instance. It's a weird green, blue, yellow, green, blue, red. The color defies explanation, really. Portal appears out of nowhere as Callista's shouting, "All right, well, you can tell this obscenity of yours. They can fuck right off." And swallows up the mage, leaving a leaving an abomination in its place that looks like it's about to come charging at you until it realizes it's like 10 feet above the air, above the ground, and it can't fly. And promptly lands right on some nice sharp stabby bits, because it, got a little farther ahead into where some of these bones are, and skewers itself. And with a really horrifying scream, which Artless and Yarny, you are both going to need to roll willpower for.
Oh, jeez.
Dies in a fire of the same color.
Nice.
Yeah, you both barely resist the urge to slip into madness.
Barely?
Barely. It's a very, very close thing. You almost accept the fact that no, your mind is not your own anymore. Callista mutters under her breath, "Effing cultists. They just don't make them like they used to." Oh, and with that, well, you have all the information you came out here for. Although some of you aren't sure if the people at, like, the Adventurers Guild are going to believe you.
Is there any intact piece of like the dogs or whatever the hell they were?
By this point, it's all
Or
ash.
that thing that impaled itself?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Oh, the thing that impaled itself, yeah. It's still there. You can try to pick it up if you want.
Yeah, can you grab something off of that? What, Callista? Just a piece. Like a finger. Its head, preferably.
Yeah, we'll grab the head. Just I assume I have some sort of knife.
Callista says, "I wouldn't try touching that if I were you."
Fuck.
Okay, Yarny, do you do it anyway?
Mind explaining what's... Huh?
Do you do it anyway?
Yeah, definitely not.
Hell no.
After everything that I've seen.
I stood close to the wizard.
Like,
and
close
I
to
thought-
you apparently know what the hell any of this is. Would you mind explaining?
uh... Oh gosh, God, I'm loving this so much. No, you're a wizard. You figure it out. So yeah, you can take some time to study it if you want. You have some knowledge of magic. Even if you can't cast anything of the other elements, you have at least awareness of how they work a little bit. Callista continues, "I'm not a babysitter. I'm not going to teach you things you're perfectly capable of learning on your own." So, what do you do next then, Yarny?
Um, um, it's I don't know.
Can I study my sword?
You can study your sword, sure. Go ahead.
I want to know what's happened to it.
The hilt has changed, basically.
Just is it purely cosmetic?
Not the hilt, the pommel. It's
No, right.
not entirely cosmetic. It feels a little weird to you. Now that you've been exposed to enough of this weird stuff, it feels you definitely feel a little bit of that off of it. But it's organic and weird shape and very spiky. So potentially a good stabby point for stuff.
All right, sick. I'm out. I'm leaving the cave.
You're
There's
leaving
no
the
leash.
cave.
I'm not touching the abomination. So I'm out. What are you guys doing?
Oh well, I can't touch anything. So, was there? You said, wasn't there other things in this room?
Mostly ash and bone now.
Thanks, Nia.
It was a very effective explosion.
Right. Yes.
It's that simple. You can try to etch into your mind a lot of what you saw and like details you can see currently on the thing if you want, Yarny, to analyze at a later point.
Okay.
And I will tell you later. You'll be able to do with that.
Okay.
But for now, my advice is get the fuck out of the cave.
Yeah.
Maybe, burn that thing with fire to cleanse it.
Yeah.
Just so that no one else can come by and accidentally be exposed to it.
Set everything on fire.
Yeah, fire cleanses everything. Always. And then, so you find yourselves then a few hours later, probably, at the back at the tavern in a private room with a table. And you've heard on your way back more rumors of stuff like this, which suggests to those of you who did not understand what the Mad Mage was going on about, there's more of these mages out there doing more crazy experiments like this.
Well, we should probably talk to the Adventurers Guild about this. Is my suggestion. Because currently I'm not getting paid.
That's true. You're not getting paid.
Yeah, we should let them know what we found, even though I
They might not
no
believe
clue what
us.
that is.
Yeah.
One thing is crystal clear to Callista, having a much better picture of about all this. Despite her saying, you want to talk to those hypocrites, be my guest. Leaving these mages alone to do their thing will only endanger more people. A lot more people. And cause a lot of suffering.
I'm not worried about that. personally.
Yeah, no, you're not worried about that.
I'm worried about what do I get if I help?
And that's
Apparently
fair.
nothing.
That is fair. That was specifically directed to Callista.
Yes.
So yes, if you and Nia both want to go to the Adventurers Guild, you can.
All right. I'll be going. If Nia's coming, that's fine.
Yeah.
I will
Okay.
not stop her.
And there, when you go, the receptionist doesn't want to believe you at first until you tell her a mage did it. And
Mhm.
um,
Can I show her my sword as proof?
you can show her your sword as proof, and she does believe it at that point. And it's like, I don't suppose there's. You heard any tale if there's more of them out there? Because if there are, she writes up a request on the spot, disappears for a moment, comes back with the guild master's stamp of approval for a considerable sum of money to
All right,
hunt
I'm in.
down the remaining mages.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Callista's heading to her room. She's got a ritual or two to perform and an eldritch patron to speak with.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Do we
We'll run.
call it here?
We'll deal with We'll deal with the patron talk real quick because I want to make sure that doesn't
Okay.
get lost, and then we'll call it.
Sure.
The ritual goes off without a hitch. You've done this a million times. You know exactly what you need to do. And the patron is surprisingly in an okay mood considering everything that happened in the cave. You can tell that right in the moment as the connection forms. And by okay mood, I mean like it only minorly wants to, numb your brain and do stuff like that. What? What is it? Are you going to yell at me again? Because you've not seen everything I'm capable of. Just give me a couple, no, what is it, 1,000 years of your time and you'll see. You'll see. And it's oddly proud of itself for that particular time frame. Like that's something quick or to be especially proud of. And yes, buttons, mines are overrated. That's for sure. Mines are overrated. Weep. So while Dragon Soul is typing up her response, Yarny and Artless, I'd like you to start thinking a little bit about which of the other players did something like really super cool, or incredibly witty, or something like that. One moment that really stands out to you, because you have an XP point you get to give somebody else. So start thinking about that a little bit. I am also going to start looking into something super quick. Let me ask a question of everybody, actually. Chat and folks here in VC alike. Oh, never mind. Here's the response from Dragon Soul. All right, what's the deal with these cultists? You never tell me why you want me to go to specific places. You fuck with my magic at rather inconvenient times, and you fill my head with these, what do you call them, memes? At the most inopportune times. And now this? Cultists working for another entity? What do you take me for, your minion? Minion? No. Servant. Or snack. Morsel. Morsel. Yes, that's the word, morsel. You can feel the hunger coming off the entity. It's clear it's been a while since it's interacted with someone else that it could have a draw a little bit off of. If this keeps up, I'm going to talk with my union rep. Warlocks are more than just snacks, and we're not just pawns in some game. The entity just, you feel it staring at you. Okay, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. What name were you given? Who? Which entity? Which of my siblings is intruding on my territory? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Here reaches out a mist energy tentacle, touches your mind. A set of coordinates is plopped into them. Go there. There's a thing that'll help you with dealing with its agents. I'm gonna go back to sleep now. Bye. And shuts the connection abruptly. I don't suppose I have a functional pen nearby. Callista, at least it isn't Cthulhu again. Last time I had to deal with him, I was washing sea salt out of my hair for weeks. Making a note of something. Location for Glove revealed. Cultists causing mutations. Okay. And with that, we will call the session there. So let's deal an XP then. I'm gonna bring the rulebook over to the screen here. I don't need it terribly big. So, starting with 3 XP each for just the session alone.
Where do we put it?
I'm gonna make a note of the base XP.
Okay.
Just the only thing you'll need to make a note of specifically is if you get a bonus XP from anybody.
Okay.
Achievements, saved the hostages from the bandits. That's worth 1 for each of you. The dealing with the mad cultist is worth another 2. And another 1 for discovering like the actual source of all this madness and insanity for 1 more. Okay, Dragon Soul is giving the bonus XP to Yarny. So Yarny, you get a bonus
Nice.
XP. Yarny, do you know who you'd like to give yours to?
It's Dragon Soul for the RP.
Okay, Dragon Soul, you get one from Yarny. And Artless, who's yours going to?
I was thinking Dragon Soul as well. Some good RP.
Okay, Dragon Soul, you get 2 bonus, and Artless, you're gonna get the one from me. In part for the "I'm not getting paid for this" line.
Thank you, thank you.
Finally, we get roleplay XP. It's rated from 1 to 5. 3 being what expected, competent. 4 and 5 being above and beyond. 1 and 2 being barely here. I'm going to nominate, since I've experienced Artless as a player before, I can nominate Artless. I'm going to say for a 4 this time around. Pretty strong, but definitely not quite as strong as I think as the first session was.
Right.
But still really strong. Are Yarny and Dragon Soul, do either of you agree with that?
What was the rating scale?
1 to 5. Basically, 3 is the average, and 4 and 5 is exceeds expectations.
I don't really have expectations. I don't know.
That's fair. I'm suggesting a 4 for exceeds, but not greatly exceeds. So if you think that's fine, you can just say yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 roleplay XP for Artless. Okay. For Dragon Soul, who did all of their roleplay through chat, but did a very remarkable job of it.
Yeah.
I'm inclined towards a 5, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good first outing, and especially for chat only, for text only.
Right, yeah.
That's hard to do. 5, you're not going to get 5s all the time. It's usually 4 at the most. So, Artless, having experienced enough others, do you agree? Because I think you're probably the best one to ask. Okay, 5 it is. Offered and seconded. And then finally, Yarny. Based on conversations we had while we were building the character, my inclination is more towards a 4 as your first outing. Because definitely met the expectations and went a little bit above, but not. Yeah, I don't think it was quite strong enough for a 5, and 4 is still really strong. So don't get me wrong on that. Artless, confirm yay or nay?
Yay.
Okay, 4 for Yarny.
Yeah, yay for me.
So then each of you have 7. Then each of you have 7 XP in addition to that all of you got. So that means add the 7, the bonuses, whatever bonus you got, and the role play I just gave you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, there's a spot on the character sheet for it that you can just fill it in.
So,
to add
5 and 1.
Total.
Right. Sim 4 and 1.
So
your the XP
4
total?
plus 4 plus 1 plus 7. So you should have 12 total out of tonight.
And that's just total XP?
Yeah, add that to your total XP. You should have a total number there already from last session.
And just add it to that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yarny, you will have 12 as well. And it was 7 plus 2 plus 5 for 14. So 14 for you, Dragon Soul. If folks feel like they have the brain power to spend some of it now, you can. If you want to wait till the start of the next session, we can do that too. Either is okay.
Sweet. Might be best to do it next session.
Next session, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Dragon Soul is agreeing.
To head off, and I got to make some dinner.
No worries, no worries. Okay, then a question for anyone else who is remaining, who just next session. I was thinking once a month. We can do it once every other. We can do it like twice a month, like
Yeah.
2 weeks from now. If folks would be happier with that.
Works for me.
Okay, Yarny, would that work for you? Okay.
What did you say?
About 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks. Let me see. What's that fall on?
That would
It
be
should work.
either Wednesday the 23rd or the 30th. Probably,
Yeah, that'll work.
probably better to be the 23rd, honestly, because I think I'll probably have family stuff on the 30th or close to it.
Oh wait, what day is that? The 23rd.
23rd would be a Wednesday again, since Wednesdays seem to work best for you, Artless.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. So yeah, set at the moment for the 23rd. I'll make a note of it in my book, and then I'll write it out in the Discord somewhere.
Have you added the others to that direct DM, or are we use something else now?
I can't. Dragon Soul and Yarny. I'm gonna send you a friend request later so I can add you to the direct message set we've been having for kind of figuring out timing on all this. 3:23. About the same time.
Perfect. All right, I got it marked.
Okay, no worries. Enjoy your dinner, my friend. Enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, sweet. Nice meeting you, Yanni, and Dragon Soul.
Not if you send a
And,
friend request first. That works too. I will take it.
But yeah, thanks for inviting me to play, guys. And,
thanks for
see you later.
the run.
Sweet.
It was fantastic playing with all of you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna move over to the chatting screen. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I guess I'll talk to you all in 2 weeks then.
Sweet as.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to excuse myself to make some dinner.
Same here.
Go for it.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.